are you all? Thank you guys for being here. So the day has finally came. We have been talking about this and excited about this for days, and we're going to get right into it. Just blanket hello to all of the chat. Thank you guys for being here. Today we're going to be talking about maternal filicide, which is defined as the murder of a child by its mother. Tess got us some really interesting information on this we're going to look at in a second, but let me first bring up my guest. We're going to compare. I'm excited, but hold on. Here we go. Hello, Jen Lou and Melissa.
Hello.
Hello. You look beautiful.
She does look beautiful. I already saw this outfit, so
Jen was doing my outfit check before.
I already told her she looked beautiful.
I feel so underdressed. I asked earlier, I'm like, are we doing camera tonight? And then I didn't see you answer. I'm like, all right, I guess no camera. And then I'm like, whoa, you look gorgeous. Oh, well, there you go. There you go.
You embarrassed her so much, Melissa.
I
She
know.
booted herself off. Way to go.
I yeeted her right out of there.
I meant to turn off my camera. I accidentally just turned my whole self off. But,
No, you look beautiful. Seriously. The background, everything. You look great.
Thank you. I'm so excited. Thank you guys for coming. I know, we've been talking about doing this. We were comparing them anyway. So for those of you who don't know, tonight we're going to compare Letecia Stauch, Megan Boswell, Leilani Simon, and there's a little bit of Casey Anthony and Diane Downs. Mm-hmm. I've prepared some videos for us. But I'm excited to go. We've been doing it anyways, naturally, having discussions. So
I feel like we've been talking about this all the way back, even with like Letecia coverage. Diane Downs would be brought up often. And then as we moved into Leilani, like we would always see similarities as we continued with coverage. But honestly, everything you've been pointing out since Megan's cover, I'm like, wow, like you really don't even realize how many things overlap.
Yeah. And actually, now that you mention that, because of Jose, we would talk about Casey and Letecia too.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. How'd that work out for you, Tisha Leanne?
Not too well.
I actually watched a clip of him talking about it, like editing together these videos. So I've spent way too much time listening to all of them and looking for certain parts I wanted to make sure that we had. And I messed up. So I'm so disappointed because I didn't see this until right before the live, that two of the videos, for some reason, edited in vertical mode. So, we can hear them. We'll be able to see them still. But when they upload I'm going to upload them on their own after. And you guys, if you're on your phone, you can watch it in vertical and you'll be able to see closer. But I don't know why CapCut did me like that, man. They freaking sabotaged
I'll tell
me.
you why. Was one of the videos in vertical mode, like one of the clips in vertical mode?
Probably, yeah.
That's why. So for next time, babe, if you have a clip that's in vertical mode, go to your toolbar there in CapCut and choose to resize.
Okay.
Well,
yeah. Okay. I'm going to get you to help me with that later.
Of course.
Maybe I can, before I upload and fix it. But the first one I'll go ahead and upload after the live. So people can watch the compilations on their own, because that's just what they are. There's no editing. There's one sound effect in the first Casey Anthony clip. I did like a rewind sound effect, but the rest I did not do anything. It's just clips together, compiled into 3 videos.
All right. Well, after I do your CapCut IT for you, I'm going to need you to fill out a brief survey about how I did. As long as you're willing to do that.
Okay, I got you.
All right.
So Tess actually sent me some information, and I didn't have time to make the other stuff into a slide, which we can talk about after the videos if we have time. But I did want to show these, and I thought this was so interesting. So thank you, Tess. She sent me the info. I just put it into on this picture. So it's 5 motives for maternal filicide. The first one, altruistic filicide. A mother kills her child out of love. She believes it is in their best interest to die. Would that be Lori Vallow or no?
I was thinking that. It depends on if she genuinely believed it or not, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Number 2, and yeah, you guys jump in at any time. Rainbow, he's drinking.
Well, would that also be like, in the Jim Jones situation, you know, like would
with the Flavor
right.
Aid.
Yeah, the Kool-Aid with mothers administering it to their children first, but they genuinely believed that this was in their best interest.
Yes, I mean Jim Jones did have that everybody convinced that the United States government was going to come in and take all of their children.
Yep.
Yeah, let me think about that. I need to think about that.
Number 2, acutely psychotic filicide. A psychotic or delusional mother kills her child without any comprehensible motive. So that's interesting. Makes me think of Letecia. I know there's many motives, but I think she is truly psychotic and delusional.
See, I don't, when you read that and described it, Letecia did not come to my mind.
No. You know who did?
Smith.
Oh, really? Susan Smith came to your mind?
I don't know. You know, like I'm kind of, let me get back to you on that.
Okay.
What came to your mind?
For acutely psychotic, Andrea Yates.
Oh, yeah.
She truly believed. I think Andrea would fit in probably category 1 and 2 because she truly believed that her children were possessed with demons, and that, but she suffered from postpartum psychosis, which is something that's extremely, extremely rare for it to progress from depression to psychosis. But I think because she felt like in order to save their souls, they had to die. But it was she did absolutely have a psychotic break. So I do think, Andrea Yates is on the 1 and the 2s. Mm-hmm.
That's who I meant originally, not Susan, because Susan had motive. She had her boy, like the boy toy, right? Like the guy that she was seeing who didn't want children. Right. And so you're right. I agree with you.
Okay.
What do you? We see you, Harley.
Lindsay, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you for joining. Okay, so 3, fatal maltreatment filicide. Death is usually not the intention in this situation. It comes from cumulative child abuse, neglect, or Munchausen by proxy.
I believe that's Megan Boswell and Leilani Simon.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Oh, I can't wait to hear your guys' opinions on all these clips because both of you have really followed most of these so closely. And then even Megan, which Melissa didn't cover, but she followed because we were talking about it all along the way. Oh my gosh, I just can't wait for y'all to hear the nonsense I've got for you tonight.
Well, I can hardly wait to make fun of this ridiculousness that's going to come out of their mouths because I know it's going to be a lot.
Yeah. And I'm like, just wait.
Okay.
Okay. And then the last 2, we have unwanted child filicide, which a mother thinks of her child as a hindrance.
I look at
who?
Ooh, can they be like a little bit of both, man?
Oh,
like,
yeah. I feel like this is a buffet of throat offedness, you know, like you take a little scoop of this and a little bit of that. Yeah, I don't, you know.
Well, look at the last one. Spousal revenge filicide. Rare. This is when a mother kills her child to emotionally harm the child's father.
Mm-hmm. Dear Zachary.
I don't think I know that one.
It was a Netflix doc. Oh no, that's not true. Was it Netflix or HBO? I think it was an HBO documentary where well, that's not true because the kid survived. That's what these I think that's what never mind. Let me just be quiet. I have to think about it for a minute.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I can't remember if the child survived. I feel like the child did not survive.
Okay.
I feel like she unalived her child to get back at the child's father. That's right. She jumped and the child survived. That's right. She unalived herself.
I didn't want us to come on here. I hope
Hold on. I'm Googling. Sorry.
Yeah, Google it because it sounds like foreign language to me. I don't know anything about it, but I didn't want us to come on here and just willy-nilly pull up random like videos and play. I really wanted it to be short bursts of the most like the parts that they have in common. This video here, you'll see like it's one thing after the next. It's like I do their pleas to the public or to their child. We have fake crying. We have fake pregnancies. I think that's in this one. We have all kinds of stuff that kind of lines up. It's really wild. It blew my mind putting it together.
Not the Spencer Wilson interview. Oh, I feel like this is such a monumental interview in true crime, even not just Letecia's case, but I feel like this was so, like, as a behavioral study, like, it's so interesting to be able to have this because it's so we pick up so many different things. And not only do we have this, we have his testimony on the stand, and we have the additional footage that wasn't aired, but it was this pivotal moment that the public knew something is seriously wrong here.
Yes, I completely agree. And Tess says it's almost iconic in a weird way, Melissa, and it really is. It's I'll never forget this. But in these clips here, there's one where I have two clips of her back to back. It's not this first one, it's the next one. And that's because, do you remember, she does her plea to Gannon, and then she asks Spencer, hold on, let me do it one more time. And then she fake cries and does like a second plea. Yeah, and the first one is just disgusting. It's, oh, well, I can't wait for everyone to apologize to me. And,
I can't wait for my sincere apology.
Especially from my husband.
Uh-huh.
Well, every time I see this interview, I think of The Grudge, the shower scene, although obviously Tisha ain't seen a shower in a month of Sundays, but it looks like there's going to be like a hand coming out of the back of her head. It's so gross. So with Dear Zachary, the mother jumped into the Atlantic Ocean with 13-month-old Zachary strapped to her stomach, drowning them both yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was to get back at the child's father.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Nee, for gifting 5 memberships. That was super sweet, and I appreciate that so much.
Thanks, Nee.
All right, well, let's get started. I'll pause. I'm going to pause in between each clip, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think. So, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Your clicker, you're late because we've been chatting for a few minutes, but you're not late because we're just starting. So, okay, here we
go. I am Tisha Stauch, which is Gannon's stepmother.
You've been a part of the investigation since the very first time. You were the last person to see him. Is that right?
Correct.
What did you see when you last saw him?
Well, I'm not allowed to talk about anything with the case. I would more so be willing to talk about how the community needs to have faith and continue to work together and not make these false accusations, like the things that have been said that I've disappeared from the community. I haven't been there to help, but there's lots of reasons behind that.
Reasons like death threats, right?
Right. Death threats are one of them. My family's getting lots of death threats. We counted over 20 some death threats already. 2, my husband's ex-wife is living in our home. And of course, I'm not coming home to do these things and to help with the family when I was kind of like told I couldn't. And then many other things that happened with the El Paso County Police Department, and in doing the investigation, I was told I wasn't complying.
Okay. Now, of course, she can't talk about the investigation, Of course, she's not going to do that. And she has
about me.
Throw in all the shit about Landon.
Right. And say she was asked not to live there, even though there's literally no evidence of that. In fact, in the pretext calls, Al's like, you just bounced.
Yeah, you left. You know?
Yeah.
You don't want your family together? You left, Letecia. I never told you to leave. Yeah. But you know what? You had Landon there. So it's amazing.
Right, because her child was missing. You think that Landon was there because she wanted to be there? No, you idiot.
She's there because of you.
Right.
Okay, so now we're going to hear Miss Boswell. Very similar.
God,
thing. Like she's also doing an interview with the news and that kind of thing. Here, let me just play it.
Let's get into the last time you saw her. Tell me what that time was like and when that was.
Well, actually, I want to talk about that. I've told TBI where to find her in Mendota, My mom took her to a campground and a silver camper, and if they don't go tonight, I'm going to go find her myself. Because I've told them, and they're not really like taking it seriously. And if they don't go tonight, like I will go myself and go get her.
Tell me about the last time though that you saw Evelyn. Tell me what you guys did and when that was.
We went to go out to eat, and then my mom came and got her. She was wearing a little hot pink tracksuit with the matching bow, little matching shoes.
And was this December 20, like right after Christmas?
A little bit before Christmas. They're not taking me seriously, TBI isn't, because I've not fully told them. I've been like, hey, like my mom camped out at Mendota, you want to go check them out, but I've never been like specifically, hey, she's not your silver camper, because my mom did threaten me, like, you know, if I told anybody. I'm not going to get into that, but she did.
Look at the deeper delight, man.
How come you didn't go to Mendota? You know what? If she had really wanted to go to Mendota, she could have gotten a Lyft, like the actual app.
Yep.
Uber. Come on. Hitchhiked.
Yeah.
Walked.
They both are complaining about the police, you know, they're
Yeah.
not taking me serious and blah, blah, blah. It's just.
Which is
I told them.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I
Because-
told them they're the ones who not doing anything.
Exactly, which is ridiculous because we know for facts that with Letecia and with Megan, even every outlandish tip was followed up on, you know, and it just baffles me. It just how they can look into a camera knowing what they did and still purport to be the victim themselves.
Ah, no.
And to blame an innocent party. And when I say innocent party, I mean in that this literal crime, you know, not innocent
Yes.
necessarily in everything, but in
Right.
the crimes they're being committed of without any hesitation.
Throw your mom right under the bus there.
Yep.
And back over it. Not
Yeah.
just throw her, back up over her.
Yeah, for sure. Clicker, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. That's really sweet. Thank you. And then Shar, good to see you. Member for 42 months. Thank you. And I love and miss you. Sorry. Okay. Now, this is where we're going to hear her plea to Gannon. And she has 2. And then it will go right into Megan's plea to whoever has Evelyn. But I'll probably pause after Leticia's ridiculous shit. But just, you know, so you'll know. Okay.
Any message for Gannon?
Gannon, when you get here, you'll be able to truly tell what happened. And then I really hope I get a sincere apology from everyone who has made all those things, especially from my husband.
I can't wait till you can come home and let everyone know that you're okay. We love you.
Obviously now.
Especially my husband. First of all, Dr. T, it's especially. There's no X there. There's an S. You big dummy.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Gannon did tell what happened to him.
Yes, he did.
When they finally found him, through no help from you, Letecia, his body told the story of what you did. Monster.
Yep. Pointer Lover, thank you for being a member 36 month, and I love you back, and I hope everything is okay. I see that you messaged me back. I'll talk to you after the live, but thank you so much. And Punksy, thank you for a super sticker. I love your picture.
Look at that baby. Look at that little nub on the top. I can't.
So cute.
That's
So
a doll. Little chubby cheeked babe. I love a picture of the baby.
I know. I think that's Punksy, baby Punksy. I can't get past them having the same hair. It makes them resemble each other. Yeah, it does a little bit.
If Megan's was filmed from the back, they would be identical.
For real. Okay, well, here we go to Megan's, I believe, fake cry. Go ahead, Jim.
You can tell that Megan see, okay, I can't really show you because I'm not the one sharing, but if you look at, if you're facing her right side, you see that line that's in line with her cheek? That is, I've been having my hair in a hair tie and I took it out so I could, look reasonably decent. I also failed at that. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Like, I think that Letecia and Megan ought to get extra time for their lack of brushing of the hair and dry shampoo. Like, come on, even if you don't have time to wash your hair, you can use some dry shampoo.
Yeah.
Nasty asses.
Hey, Stevie Grace. Lisa, thank you for joining. Thank you so much. Stevie says, I'm so excited to catch this live and spend my evening with you guys. It's been forever since I could catch a laugh, but I'm always on repeat. And you three are three of my favorites to listen to. Thank you. That's super sweet. Okay. All right, here we go. Here, you guys got anything else? I'm just going to hit play if not.
I'm ready.
I'm thinking that means Jen's ready too. Okay, here we go.
Now that you believe you know who has her, what do you have to say to them?
To just bring her back.
Look in the camera.
I just want her back. That's all I want. I've been so long without her, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, why didn't you report it missing earlier? Because my mom threatened me, and I just want her back. That's all I can think about is how much I just want her back.
Just woke up to me. Oh, did you see the shaking of the head left to right? I just want her back so bad, as your body is literally saying, no, I don't.
I didn't even notice that. Now that
Go
you
back to the beginning. Watch. As she say, like, her body is disagreeing with what her words are saying, and she's shaking her head left to right, as in, no, I don't.
Okay.
My husband.
I can't back.
Look in the camera.
I just want her back. That's all I want.
Me.
I've been so long without her, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, why didn't you report it missing earlier? Because my mom threatened me, and I just want her back.
Both times.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can think about is how much I just want her back.
Oh, 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Good catch,
It's very
Angela.
interesting how, like, you can, and I learned a lot about this in the John Grusing interview, because he explained things so well on the stand. But like, you can lie, you can make that conscious decision to lie, but your body will tell on you a lot of the times. And so as you're verbally saying one thing, but your body is saying completely differently.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to get to some Grusing stuff too. But yeah, he did an excellent job of explaining some of that. That is interesting. And I agree. Good catch. That's funny. Melissa thought it was Tisha just without looking and just hearing it.
Yeah, because one thing that Letecia, Megan, Leilani, not so much Diane, but those three have in common. I'm sorry, you guys, I'm a little bit under the weather. I don't mean to like clear my throat in your ear. I'm sorry for that.
Yeah.
But one of the things that they have in common is when they're trying to emote what they perceive to be the correct emotion, i.e. crying, their voice goes up several octaves. It's almost like they cannot get the words out, because I do think it is their body fighting, because they know you cannot fool your own brain. No. And they know that they're lying. And I think they go up to an octave like that's just like maybe 1 or 2 below only dogs can hear. Right. And I've only ever heard it in somebody who is lying like that.
And I'm sure it's a tactic though too. Yes, our voices do that when we are getting upset and have that emotional response, but it's easier to do something like that than very clearly and directly tell you a lie, right? Because it's not as easy. The same way in the Grusing interview when he asked, hey, I'm not accusing you of anything. Just tell me when you last saw Gannon, right? Was he standing up? Was he sitting down? Was he walking away? The problem is when they're asking you a very direct question, right? When was the last time you saw Megan? When was the last time you saw Gannon? The part in your brain that has the answer, the memory, is going to always, it's like, hey, don't think of an elephant. Elephant's going to pop up in your brain. And then they have to use the other side of their brain to create the lie. And it's using 2 different sides of their brain. And so I'm sure it's a lot easier to kind of go into this because you don't get your words. It's versus here, I could give you a very direct answer because I have the answer,
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I noticed with Leilani, and we'll see some of this in a little bit too. She freaks out for them to stop asking questions. You know what I mean? She'll just like freaking out, screaming, crying. Just, I don't know. I think it's to get them to.
I think it is too, because human beings do what works for them, right? Yeah. So, Leilani, another thing I think Leilani, Letecia, and Megan all have in common is that they're used to getting their way, and how they go about getting their way is just bulldozing over everyone and when they don't get their way, they don't just pout for a minute and move on, right? They make the entire household and anybody within a 3-mile radius of them miserable. They spread like the nothing.
Yep.
And so people, a lot of times you can hear it really well, I think, in Al's pretext calls, that he is so used to dealing with this from Letecia, because at no time does he ever say to her, "Why are you screaming? I'm not screaming at you."
Mm-hmm.
That's because he's used to hearing that stuff. That's how she deals. And that's pretty much how she gets away with it. I think it's the same thing with Leilani, because in that hotel or motel room interview or, whatever between her and Danny, where it was monitored or surveilled, she does that too. She goes up about 27 octaves and then she starts screaming at him.
Yeah, she does. All right, well, let's hear this. Let's watch this from Leilani. She's not doing that yet, but she is doing some emotional, manipulation. Oh, this pisses me off.
Oh, this is one that just, it goes all over me, Allie, all over me. All right,
and this is the part that's very infamous, where Billy Judd can't even stand to look at her. But here we go.
To be screaming, "Where's Quentin?" and running through the house. I ran and looked everywhere, inside, outside, just started screaming for him. Great to come out of this, but mostly we want him not to be found in that landfill. We want him found happy and alive. We want him back in our arms, holding us. That's what we want. We just hope that he's in somebody's house and they're feeding him, and they are hoping that, maybe they wanted a baby or couldn't have a baby. Maybe they thought they were his savior. But it's not. That's their best hopes at this point.
So she's not even crying. There's no tears, no nothing. But she's going, what the? Oh my God, I'm sorry, y'all. Go ahead. Curious.
Well, and I remember seeing that interview in real time, and Billy Joe's, the way she literally turned away from the lie. Like she heard Leilani say that, and it was in that moment where I'm sure your heart and your brain are battling one another, in your brain, hey, that doesn't make sense, but in your heart, you want to believe. And you saw her turn away, and that's, I think that says everything, because she knew.
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
There's just no way. There's no way.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, I'm tired of these hoes, man. I've spoken more passionately about a Publix fruit bowl than these hoes have spoken about their children. It just makes me so angry. I can't even. Yeah.
I just can't believe she had the nerve to do that. If, somebody who maybe really wanted a baby, it's like,
couldn't have one.
But
okay.
But it's an interesting choice of words. It's a leak.
Yeah.
It's a leak, because she says maybe they thought they were going to be his savior. Well, now, Leilani, why would they think that? Is it because you treated him terribly? Is that why? You see what I'm saying? So people, I feel, oh my God, too much Tisha. You see what I'm saying? Oh, just kick me off the panel right now.
It shows where their own mentality is. Like, why would Quentin specifically need a savior?
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct. Yeah. What's going on that somebody would feel the need to save Quentin? Leilani, what are you doing to that child? Well, we found out at trial exactly what she was doing to that child.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to get into fake pregnancies.
Oh, I know there's a lot of rumors and stuff going around about all kinds of things. Is there anything else that you'd like to address?
No.
Unless
you have anything specific you want me to address.
Well, I know that there's been rumors about you being pregnant right now, and
I'm not getting into that.
I know, I hate to ask you that, but I just want to give you the opportunity to address anything that you feel that the public should or shouldn't know? Or I know everybody's in your business.
I am pregnant. That's why they won't give me a polygraph. Due to policy, if you're pregnant, they cannot give you one.
Okay.
Oh,
that makes sense. That must make all of this so much harder for you.
And guess what?
How is that? I hate to ask you personal questions, but I know you're missing your child and you're pregnant.
It's just a lot to deal with at one point in time.
Okay.
Oh, I never saw that before. Wow.
Yeah, and guess what? The police, they did a press conference and said, no, that's not true. We don't even have the stuff to do a polygraph here if we wanted to. And there's nothing about policy and being pregnant. And yeah.
Wait, so what did she specifically say? Did she say, if I'm pregnant, I can't do it? Like, what was her specific sentence?
Hold on. Let me look at here, let me get back.
But while you're looking for that, Allie, they didn't need to give her a polygraph test. They already knew she was a lying liar face who told lies because they chased down all the leads that she gave them. And every single thing that she said turned out to be a lie. Like, you don't need, at that point, what the hell is the point of a polygraph test?
Yeah, when you're telling 7 different stories, they can't all be true. They know you're lying.
You big dummy. Stop playing with these people, Megan.
Here's that sentence again.
Address anything that you feel that the public should or should know, or I know everybody's in your business.
I am pregnant. That's why they won't give me a polygraph.
So she just slid that in there because I was like, why'd she even bring that up? Like, so she just introduced that herself. So I'm pregnant and that's why they can't give me a polygraph test. Like, were they talking about a polygraph before that?
No.
Nope.
Oh,
man. But is there anything you want to address? And if I'm not mistaken, it's been a long time, but I believe this was like rumored. The rumors were already kind of going on social media. She maybe had said something or something like that.
Well, she told before Evelyn went missing, when we watched the trial, she told Bailey that she was impregnated. I shit you not. Sorry, Allie. I am not even joking with you. That is the word that she chose to use in the DMs. I'm impregnated. Girl, bye.
And at this time, I think she might have done like a Facebook post, a comment, something to where I believe when the news lady asked her, are there any rumors that you want or anything you want to address? You could just see it on her face. And why are you so giddy? Like, yeah, I am. Oh my God, it's weird. Okay. Let me get to my next one.
Let me ask you this too, Allie. At the point of this interview, had Hunter already kind of stopped claiming her ass?
He stopped claiming her within 2 days or something. And yeah, probably so. But this interview was actually before the one we just watched. So this one was like closer to this was the day that she had that other court date and they caught her outside there. And
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You guys ready for another fake pregnancy?
Oh, yeah. Sure. Why not? Bring them on.
This took me forever to find. So, okay, here we go.
Hey. What's up? Huh?
They just got back to the doctor.
What for?
Really?
Yeah.
I've already told you this, but I didn't have a period, and I'm 5 weeks pregnant.
Okay.
How'd it go?
Oh my God. Now I think that I don't know about with Megan so much, but with Letecia, what makes hers even more evil is she used that fake baby to try to literally replace Gannon. She was trying to get in Al's head and, well, hey, I know Gannon's not here, but now here's a new child. And you know what? I entrusted Gannon with this information, and he was so excited about this new child. It was so evil.
It was so evil. You're so right about that. You guys that are like saying you had never seen this, after the live, I'm going to make this video public. The other two I will as well, you might have to watch them on your phone in vertical mode. I'm so sorry. I cannot believe I did that, but maybe I'll be able to fix it quickly. I don't know. We'll see. But regardless, they'll all be up so you can rewatch them or like find certain parts that you want or whatever. Thank you, Tasha. Look, my 3 favorite. All right, you guys. Now we're going to get in. This one's longer, but I didn't play out. I specifically cut the part about the kids out. This is how, like, this is from Court TV. I know that there's other footage of this out there. Whoa. What the heck? What a weird number calling me. But this is from Court TV, and this is just how they had it in trial. So, you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
I loved you. I loved you with all of me, all of my heart. I loved you. I wished that the crowd you walked on. When we found each other, we were in such fragile states. And I built you back up. I would do anything for you. But during this time that I was building you back up, you were doing things that would eventually tear me back down. Internet, unlimited data, Wi-Fi was included, and a free streaming box. And even now, after everything that I think has been brought to light, hopefully it was everything, right? Even now, you look at me with the same look in your eyes that you have when you talk about Caitlin. I don't hear the love in your voice anymore. I don't feel the love in your touch anymore. I definitely don't see the love in your eyes anymore. If you truly loved me like you claimed, you wouldn't have done all that. Even when I was carrying your child and hating myself every fucking day, crying myself to sleep every fucking night because you did not want to have sex with me. You did not want to love me. You just did not want me. And I wanted you. I wanted you. I wanted you more than like yourself. But you proved that it was only one way. That feeling was only one way. That love, that loyalty, it was all one way. You take care of my kids. Okay? You couldn't take care of me. You couldn't love me. You couldn't do me right. So please, for the love of fucking God, do my kids right. And I can't do it out at the river now. Bye, Daddy.
Emotional manipulation.
Oh my God. What do you think he thought watching that? Do you think he believed she was really going to hurt herself in any way, or do you think that he knew what she was doing?
No, she looks like she's coming down. She looks like she's going through withdrawals. That's all that is.
That ain't the first time. That ain't for people who use that and weaponize it. It ain't the first time. Her. She didn't even bother lowering the volume on the radio. Number one, but she just popped a damn Yui. Like that's all she did. Yeah.
Not only that, but you're so in love with him. You love him so much. You blamed him for murdering your kid. Let's start there.
Yeah.
And before that even happened, you were banging Big Red. Shut up, Leilani.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do nothing with that.
The fact that she can act like that, knowing that Danny was just working. Yes, he was drinking, but he's just working and taking care of the kids while she's out hooking up with other guys and stuff. I just can't. But she still can put on a performance like that. It's crazy.
She's crying for herself. That's it.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. I don't remember what's next, but here we go.
Living
up in the house.
Okay.
18 people there.
All right, nice.
So,
see, I told you can't spin me, Tisha, but go ahead. I'll listen to you spin.
I'm not trying to spin you.
Go ahead, spin it around.
I'm not trying to spin you. I'm not trying to spin you at all. I'm saying I'm just trying to get the facts from you what you're saying. One, you told me that all you and whoever else saw blood in the middle of a supposed crime.
No, what you're doing,
Okay.
no, hold on, no, stop for a second. What you're doing is you're not focusing on the crime, you're focusing on the people here helping to find Gannon, okay? Like that's gonna fly.
No, I'm not.
You're gonna go up there and say,
I'm focusing on.
no, it's bullshit, Tisha.
I'm focusing how they're gonna rip you guys this theory apart because it's a lie.
Okay.
Because you contaminated a crime scene, supposedly, is what you said.
Okay, so
then,
whatever.
Two, that's what you said.
But what you said was it was Gannon's blood, so I'm going based off the facts that you told me.
You said I never said that.
Yeah, you did.
Said you saw blood.
No, you said it was yours and Gannon's blood. Okay, that's what you said. That's exactly what you said.
That's not what I said.
That's what you said.
I never told you it was mine against blood on any concrete.
All right, you are lying. When you
You are lying. I just put that in there. I remember now because he like called her out on her shit, and I just like that one.
Well, for anybody who doesn't know, Letecia Stauch literally did not know that they were able to determine whose blood is whose, and she was running with the theory at one point that the blood was hers. She literally did not know that they're going to be able to determine, hey, is that indeed your blood, or is that someone else's blood? Is that Gannon's blood? Is that Leticia's blood? They are able to know. She didn't know that.
Yeah. She even at one, she was very done with it. She even at one point said, okay, well, tell him to test it and see what time it happened. Like,
Letecia.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, okay. It depends. Okay, I know what blood they're talking about, and that was a relatively big stain, and that was a relatively large amount. So in that sense, yes. But there was like a drop of blood on the steering wheel of Alec Murdaugh's vehicle, and it was a combination. And sometimes they can tell if but like when we watched Megan Boswell, sometimes they can't. There's not enough of the second sample to know who it is. Does that make sense? Yeah. But also, listen, this is Letecia, okay? Letecia would want, she's such an idiot. She called a place to have a fake polygraph. They have the questions that you ask on the polygraph test. And she sat on the phone with that poor guy from customer service. I didn't ask that. No, I didn't. It was about cheating.
Can we also acknowledge that fake polygraph test site had better customer service than for like my paying actual Verizon trying to get in touch with them or anything?
Yeah.
It's insane how well their customer service was.
That's so true, but he wasn't having it. No, you're not getting these. I don't know. I just love the way she got caught in that.
Yeah. But so are you just going to keep the money or?
Yeah. Awkward.
I know that I violated TOS, but am I going to get my money back or
nah? Trio Girl Mom, thank you, and we love you back. I love you back. Thank you so much. And then Clicker, you gifted again. That's super sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, so this is Leilani. I took this clip from Grizzly, but I can't remember what it was. I just remember when I clicked this. So here we go. I'm sure it's more nonsense. Just, Oh, yeah. This is Leilani. This is a similar thing. So those were pretexts. They were calls recorded by the FBI. Al was bugged. This is when Leilani is bugged in the hotel room with Danny. Okay.
That's what you did.
Yes.
You can look me in my eyes.
I'm looking you in your eyes, Danny. That is what I did.
You can look
That
me
is
in
what I did.
Just don't. You don't
Stop.
know yet.
Look at me in my eyes, too. That is what I did. There was nothing else that I did. I came home and I went to bed. And I woke up to my baby gone. Do you understand me?
So you didn't do anything else?
No, nothing else at all.
Another example of her freaking out just to get her way and to get questions to stop.
Yep. They like to scream and, hey, you're not accepting my lies. Let me try to scream it at you louder in your face and hopefully you'll accept it then. No.
Yep. Yeah. Shout out to Grizzly True Crime. It's easier to find some stuff with her because she timestamps everything beautifully. So if you are looking for something in particular, sometimes I'll go there because I know I can read her description and find it. And I was looking for the hotel footage.
Yeah, she's good.
Okay. All right, here we go. Which you timestamp everything beautifully and even got me doing it some now when I can. And I love that. It makes things so much easier.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, here we go.
Please do not say the same thing over and over. You said 15 times.
Well,
Because if you truly wanted to do anything about it, anything, you would have, and don't even say I haven't told you this. And don't even say that the police department haven't had this information because they're liars. Anything. They would have released anything about suspicious cars. They would have released anything about anything other than trying to think that this person who freaking has a normal life is some horrible monster to take it. And they keep letting it go on about this stupid video. Do you think for a second if you, Albert, you kind of faith in our system, in any kind of thing that was going on, justice would happen.
If I had shot my own children, would I not have?
Oh, we can't get into that yet. I don't even have anything to say on that one in particular. Do you, Melissa? I kind of lost my train of thought anyways.
Well, it's just kind of using the reverse psychology, like if I would have done, like, give me a motive of why I would have done it. If I would have done it, this is how it would have played out. Like, don't you expect to see that? Like, it's just reverse psychology. And it's trying to grasp control out of a situation that's so desperately out of control.
Yeah. Well, she's extremely manipulative. Actually, they all are, in their own ways. They're super manipulative. And that's kind of the way I see that reverse psychology, like trying to manipulate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Diane Downs. Yeah. Blast from the past. Okay. Let me just go back 10 seconds. All right, there's 2 clips back to back. I'm just going to let them play real quick. Because like her and Casey, I only grabbed a couple of theirs. It's hard to know what you can use because of all these talk shows and news, like 48 hours and stuff. I try to be careful. So, okay, here we go. But this one, whew.
In any kind of thing that was going on, justice would happen.
If I had shot my own children, would I not have done a good job of it? Why would I have then immediately rushed them to the hospital with 2 children still living? Christy woke up, and as I say, she may be the only one to get me out of this. Would I have brought her to the hospital? Wouldn't she be the one that I would make sure is dead? There are too many holes in it. Why would I have taken my kids to the hospital? Wouldn't I have made sure they were dead and then cried crocodile tears? That's insane to think that I would do such a thing and then bring the witnesses in against myself. That's crazy. Horrible crime has been done. Therefore, the DA looks bad. Lane County Sheriffs look bad because they couldn't find the guy. People are terrified to walk outside. If they sacrifice the mother as the murderess of her children, that makes it clean cut, simple cut.
Can you tell me a little bit about how you?
Yeah. She's actually pretty fascinating in the same way that Letecia.
Diane Downs. Oh yeah. He's very fascinating. Very, very. When she was up for parole in, I can't remember if it was 2000 or 2010 because she was up for parole both times.
Yeah.
And she said the reason that she broke out of jail or prison was to go and look for she'd been getting letters from somebody who claimed responsibility and she was going to look for this person. No, that's a whole lie. Let me tell you what she did. She broke out of prison and was shacked up with her cellie's husband. That's what she was doing. Shut up, Diane. And also, you're insulted because they're calling you a poor, you're bad at covering up what you did. That's what you're insulted over, you idiot. That's what she just said. She's mad because they're saying, that she basically committed these crimes and was, stupid enough to get caught because she's so dumb. And that is one thing about Diane Downs. Like when her intelligence gets questioned, she really pops off. But the truth of the matter is, not only did she shoot those children, but she didn't rush them anywhere. She was driving about maybe 5 or 6 miles an hour from this back road to the hospital. In fact, they put a witness on the stand who came up behind her, and she was driving so slow for such a long period of time that they ended up passing her.
Yep.
She's just the worst. She also looks like Janelle Evans. I'm just putting that out there.
She does. Sorry. She does. You are right. Oh my God. More like Barb now, but yeah, she does.
Let's see. She does look like her. Catatonic and Jen, thank you for joining. And Clicker, you don't have to do that. You've already done so much for me and just supported me so much. Sent me lots of Reese trees, bought a couple 2 times memberships already tonight, and so many other nice things. So I don't want, I appreciate you so much. I really do. And that's very sweet. And yeah. Okay. She definitely does look like Janelle. I can't unsee it now. I know.
Yeah. You'll never be able to unsee it.
Oh, you guys are too good to me. I just can't. Thank you all for being here and support me and everything. And thank you guys for joining me too.
Of course. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us. Diane Downs, she's the first woman that I ever knew that killed her. I mean, I don't know Diane. Please don't. I don't know this hoe. But this is the first story I ever heard of a mother who killed their children. I've been fascinated with Diane Downs for years.
I'd love to dig into it.
Yeah. I think that'd be very interesting.
Yeah. Oh, Melissa, I noticed in some of the clips, it's very pronounced tonight that we're going to hear the anything.
Oh, the K at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hey, Kathy Jo. All right, here we go.
We couldn't find the guy. People are terrified to walk outside.
Well,
if they sacrifice
Ruth's here. Oh, sorry.
Children.
It's okay.
That makes it clean cut, simple cut.
Can you tell me a little bit about how you're feeling? Do you miss her? Are you worried?
Of course I miss her, and I can't tell anything about the ongoing investigation, but I'm sure you all released an article about the car and stuff like that. So we have a pretty good idea of who has her. I mean, if they're watching, I just want you to bring her back.
Is there anything you'd like to say to them if they're watching?
I just want her back. Yeah, it's my child.
I'm sorry, I know this must be hard. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about her? Do you have any pictures of her? Have you been looking?
Not on me, no.
Not on me. Have you been looking at photos and stuff of her while you're? How are you coping with all of this?
Give a shit.
She has some. I don't know. Mental illness. I could see that. That's all I could think watching that and thinking about, at one point she was said to be a good mom. I don't know.
Yeah, but here's the thing. None of the people that testified to her being a good mom were ever at that trailer.
Yeah.
And so I don't know
it's true.
How anybody who went to that trailer could ever say that she was a good mom, particularly the babysitter who said that the diaper rash was so bad that she called the pediatrician to ask what to do. I mean, that's bad.
That's
when you
true.
take your child to the babysitter and the babysitter takes a picture of the child, not because they just love the child and they wanted a picture of the baby. No, she took the picture of Evelyn because she was documenting. She came over there filthy.
Well, yeah, that's true. And Melissa, you probably haven't seen, but she lived in this trailer for 2 months that her dad let her stay in. And within 2 months, that trailer was so filthy and just shit everywhere. It was horrible. Jen, how would you describe it?
I would say that she's a cochina. She was absolutely filthy. It wasn't messy. There were dishes piled high in the sink. There was rotting food everywhere. There was milk jugs in the oven. Everything, from floor to ceiling, that place was complete filth. The guy that came in to clean out the trailer so that they could re-rent it had to wear a respirator.
Mm-hmm.
They had to pull out all of the flooring, and they even had to replace subflooring. Now, to be fair, that trailer looked old AF, so it's possible that they might, if not for Megan, they might have got one more tenant out of it before they had to replace some subflooring. But that's neither here nor there. It was. And she did have cleaning equipment, and we know this because in the picture from the kitchen, there was a vacuum just exactly where you'd expect it, in the middle of the kitchen floor, because that is where vacuums go that you never use. Like, the vacuum itself had dust on it. It was just disgusting.
Yeah.
Food on the floor in the living room. It was just awful.
So
not a trash can in sight.
But I think that could be part of mental illness too. I wish Dr. B was here so we could ask her. But okay, so Solo Angel Mom says Casey sucks. I hate Baez for getting her off with his bullshit lies. So we're gonna see some of her on the interrogation video that we're gonna watch in a second. And the thing that sets her apart from everyone else is her attorney. She has an attorney. She asked for an attorney. Like, it's just different when you watch her speak versus the others. She speaks in a more educated, calm way, I guess. But the attorney was a major, major, major part, in my opinion, of her getting off with it.
Yes, they say that justice is blind and that the scales of justice are intended to be equal. That's why Lady Justice is blindfolded. But the fact of the matter is, Jose Baez is an incredible attorney who took her case because he wanted to make a name for himself, which he absolutely did. And it just is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it does go to show when you have the resources to put up a good defense, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, before I play the last 10 seconds, Melissa, you got anything else?
I'm excited to see Casey.
Okay, it's just a quick clip here, but
it's been a minute, and so I'm excited to see. I haven't seen Casey since the Peacock documentary.
I kind of want to jump into this case and cover it. Like, B. Crumbs had tossed around the idea to me, and she said, nobody really knows. People don't know all the facts. I admittedly don't. I watched Nancy Grace when this was happening on HLN, and Ashley Banfield. Actually, she came on right before Nancy at 7 and 8, and I would hear the Top Mom and the stuff but I never dug into the case, case files, interviews, all that stuff, and I kind of want to.
You should. Honestly, it's fascinating, and I don't know. It's always also when you don't have a conclusion, you don't it's one of those cases you don't have all the answers, and so I love having those discussions because it's when you talk amongst other people and they'll bring this and they'll say, well, hey, what about this, and it perks something in you, and so I like it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe I will. Clicker, thank you so much. That is incredibly kind. Thank you. Well, Jen, what about you? Anything before I play it? Ready? No,
go ahead, babe, play it.
Okay.
About what anybody thinks about me. I don't care about that. Yeah. I never will. I'm okay with myself. I sleep pretty good at night.
That's it. That's how I ended that one, which
of course you do, you fucking psychopath.
Yep.
Yeah.
She doesn't care. Look, Kaylee was in the way of Casey getting on with her life, of Casey, being young and having fun. And I think that what really happened, in my estimation, is that I think there was conflict between Cindy and Casey and her father. I think that her father was like, Cindy, you need to back off and let Casey be a mother to Kaylee. And Cindy was like, no, I can't trust this. I can't trust my daughter with this baby. No. And I think that when George was like, no, we're not going to help in the way that we used to, and Casey was responsible for doing it herself, doing it meaning taking care of Kaylee day in and day out and being the mother full time. I think that Casey realized and said, oh, this is not what I want at all. And Kaylee had to go, and it's disgusting what she did.
Yeah.
And I think that Casey likely overdosed her on Xanax because she continues to say Zanny the nanny. And I think what happened, I think that Casey thinks that how she murdered her daughter was a kindness. Like she didn't, she wasn't violent with her. She just went to sleep.
And what do you think the duct tape and stuff was for then?
I think it was an act of a very messed up act of love.
In what way?
Well, the butterfly sticker was the act of love. I think the duct tape was maybe an act of remorse. Usually, when a victim is covered, typically that's indicative of the perpetrator knowing the victim. It suggests familiarity. And there's a level, because a lot of people don't know this, but two things can be happening at the same time. Mm-hmm. Casey can be an evil monster who took the life of her child and still love that child in her way and have remorse. I didn't mean the duct tape as an act of love. The sticker is the act of love.
Right.
I think the duct tape was likely to, keep her from being identified. I meant to say the sticker, not the duct tape.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. I don't know though if so for me that's interesting because why put duct tape on her unless she was alive?
Well, her story also was that she was kidnapped
or something. Well, okay.
And so what do you think of, like a lot of people, clearly she never watched true crime. People always, people think when you're kidnapped, you're tied up, so perhaps that's why she did it. I mean,
interesting. Oh, Samantha, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you so much. Elle and Elena, thank you for gifting a membership and welcome to the new member. Elena! Melissa, what do you think about the duct tape? The way you asked that makes me wonder, what do you think?
I go back and forth so much with it. I don't know.
That makes sense to me, though, the theory, like Jen said, like she said she was kidnapped, maybe to make it look like just Dawn says here, a stranger abduction. I don't know, though. I don't know enough about it. I'm going to have to dig into it. All I know is like the headlines, and we all know you don't really get the facts like that, so... Okay, so here, I'm so sorry. This is in vertical. You guys, when I post this, like I said, on your phone, you should be able to see it better. I tested it right before the live when I realized it was in vertical. And on my phone, it's, much bigger and it's a lot easier to see. Some of these, though, are just audio anyways. So, okay. MS girl. All right, you guys ready? This is part 3, but I was going to do it first because the interrogation part is a little bit longer. It's 20 minutes, and I don't know how much time we're going to have. We might have to do part 2. I don't know what we're going to do because Melissa, what time are you live?
Oh, way after this. Don't worry about my live. We're good.
Okay. We can tilt our heads, Alex. So thank you, Pam. What were you going to say, Jen?
I have to say that the whole, I've always kind of thought this, but I watched the behavior panel's analysis of Megan Boswell. and I cannot remember which panelist said this, but it is true. The murder of somebody that you know, particularly your child, is it's complex and it's layered. But what he said was that two things can be possible at the same time, that they can show remorse and grief and yet still be evil. And it's not exactly what he said. The remorse and grief is what he said, but I can't remember how he described the part of their personality that's capable of committing a crime like this. But they exist at the same time, which I was, I kind of have always thought that, but it was just nice to hear them say that.
Thank you so much for joining or for gifting a membership. I'm sorry, crime all the time. Thank you. Melissa, you know what? I have talked to one of them today, but I didn't know that. So thank you for letting me know. Look it up. Wonder if it has meaning for Crazy Casey. That's a good. Law Nerd says that when you mentioned the sticker, it reminded them of Silence of the Lambs. I'm going to keep that in mind because I'm going to dig into it, and I will look at all of it. Thank you. Okay. Here we go. This one is shorter. This little, oh gosh, though, it's got some really, some good things that I didn't want to leave out. And after I was done, I was like, wait a minute, I need to just put these last little things together. So that's why there's 3 parts. It's all jumbled up. But anyways, okay, here we go.
What I understand is you're treating me like the prosecutor here. Okay. You're treating me like I'm in court or the law, not like I'm our son's father. Okay.
If you get out there and you ask for help, don't do it. I genuinely don't know. I can't even go anywhere because they think I'm going to tell. Y'all haven't even released the reward. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to stop arresting. They're not going to stop sending me information. They're not going to stop. I want this over.
I do too, but
it's every day. I'm on this bag. Please, what can I do to have James? Please, what can I do?
Okay. Sorry, I'm leaning against the leather.
They're not going to leave me alone. No, Letecia, they're not going to leave you alone, you big dummy. Of course, they're not going to leave you alone. Al was out of town. Who else should they question? Every tip, every lead, every story that you gave them, they tracked down, and it was all determined that you are a lying liar face who tells lies. Stop playing with these people.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead, Melissa. She's freaking out, dude.
I just think that was a moment where Tisha, once again, like, you need to fix this. Like, you need to get me out of this. They're not going to believe me. Like, I need immunity. What are you mad at him about, number one? Which, again, it kind of circles back around. I'm not sure which part of she fell under where it was getting back at the father, right? But you're mad at him after everything you put him through, and you want him to get you out of this.
Yeah.
Because that's who she is as a human being. It's never Letecia. Even when it is Letecia, it's still not Letecia. It's somebody else. Somebody else caused her to do what she did. Period. End of story. That's how she thinks. And what's interesting to me is I watched the chat, and the minute you played that pretext call, 11 billion people in the chat were like, she's loud, right?
Yeah.
Did Al address her freaking volume at all?
Yeah, good point.
Because that would be a natural human reaction. You're screaming. The speakerphone has this. You've done blown out the speaker. The speaker, because this is the one where there's a ton of cutouts because the phone is just like, I can't with this hoe. And so I feel like this is he's used to these histrionics.
Yeah, that's such a good point.
Because he doesn't react.
Yeah. Okay, that's a great point. Here we go. Here is Leilani. It's just a quicker clip. Also freaking out.
It's every day. I'm on this bag. Please, what can I do to have James? Please, what can I do?
No, I did not. I did not take a Percocet right now. I'll piss and cup for you right now.
This is, I bet you, why it's vertical, because I had this clip, if you remember, when we were going over it, because this always, I was like, geez, why is she? I'll go piss in a cup for you right now.
Oh my God, is that my big 4x4 head up there? Yes.
Yeah. I actually went into my old clips and got this one for this particular clip because I didn't want to forget it. But yeah, when she does the whole gets like all in, I turn my camera on for that. I don't know. What is she? I don't know.
I see, this is the part where I would be calling a bitch's bluff. I'd be like, let's go. We got drug tests right here. Let's go right now. Let's go. You want to, you say you're ready to pee in a cup? Then let's go pee in a cup.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Even though she was lying, she had Percocets, Coke, everything in her system.
Yes.
She was so like, I don't know. That clip has always like her whole stand up and she gets fully into it. Her body is completely like in sync with her screaming. I don't know.
I think that it's okay. If somebody would accuse us, right, or me, I'll just use me as an example. If somebody was accusing me of using and I wasn't using, this whole pointing where, I don't even, are you even pointing in the direction of the bathroom, Leilani? How do you even know? It's just so dramatic and theatrical. When if you are clean, what you would say is, if you think that I've been doing drugs, I will happily take a drug test right now. There's no need for you for all this. You know, she's like extra in the worst kind of way.
Worst kind of way. Oh, thank you, Crime All the Time. You're sweet. And look, FOS all day. Hey, I found you from MJ Description.
Yay!
Which, by the way, another reason I wanted to bring that up, which thank you, Melissa. I wanted to also tell you guys, if you haven't subscribed, I forgot to add the descriptions or to the description before. As soon as it's over, I'll have their channels, but I'm going to drop their links right now. So you should go check out their channels. I'm sure most of you are subscribed, but even if, in case you're not.
Okay. I just thought of something too. Sorry, Allie, just really quickly. You know what else I noticed about these mothers? They act like it's the detective's first day on the job ever. Like they're brand new and they really think they're going to get one over on these people. This is what cracks me up about this. And not in a funny way, just like the level of audacity is too high.
Yeah.
With this.
Way too high. The audacity. That's the perfect word for all of it. Okay, let me see. I don't know
I think I'm going to make a video and call it the Audacity Olympics.
Do it. Okay, so now we have something from Letecia again, and then we're going to get into some Google searches and then some courtroom behavior. Okay, here we go.
Now, but then you'd never tell me anything.
We're already saying number 2. That's the second thing. We know that. All right.
You're a number 2.
Anything I haven't done. All right. So why come when I gave them the information that I gave them?
That's why I had to. Yeah, that's why, because it was a clip. And I was like, I have to use this because then why come? I think this is the clip too.
Dr. T.
Yeah, you're illiterate ass.
That's the second thing. We know that. All right. Anything I haven't done. All right. So why come when I gave them the information that I gave them, why did they not look into it? Why did they not believe it? Why?
What
because
information about Quincy Brown?
Take in anywhere.
Are you talking about Quincy Brown? What information are you talking about?
No, I did not.
What information?
Okay. You just said they don't tell you anything, right? That's what you said.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So, which means they would have gotten information from me.
Just ignore the Reddit thing coming down in the Find Nicole Kessinger Reddit. I don't know why I'm getting updates for that. I guess I looked at something in there, but Samantha, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. That's super sweet, and welcome to the members.
Is this the barking up the wrong tree? I am the tree. Is that this one?
I don't think so, but I don't know. Here, let me see.
They did look into all the lies that you said.
Oh, look, there's you again in the corner. Your Halloween
Lord.
avatar. Okay.
Oh, good Lord.
You're all over.
It's a Benji Palooza.
Actually, just clipped this one. It's not an old clip. I did it last night or this morning or sometime in the middle of the night. But okay.
Okay. So what information was
The
it?
information that I told them covered any areas except only.
Talking about? Why won't you give me that information? I'm the father of the missing child, Tisha.
But I've already told you one time, and when I told you it wasn't good enough.
Well, tell me again. Tell me right now. I'm in believe Tisha mode.
Okay, how long do you have?
mode.
Like 5 to 7 minutes. Honestly,
Okay,
I gotta get back
can't
in.
do it in 5 to 7 minutes.
Well, what do you need? Tell me.
Yeah, she needs at least 10 to 15 minutes to get this bullshit lie out. Al, come on now.
Oh, Pointer Lover, that's very sweet. Thank you. And Jen, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. Not you, Jen. Curious Christine as well. Thank you for being a member for 7 months. No place I'd rather spend my weekend. Aw. I love that. Yeah, I put that in there because of the Wacom and the Believe Tisha mode. Now I remember. So
Let
what
me
do you
just give you guys some life advice. Never, ever, ever be in Believe Tisha mode. Ever. It's not a mode you need to be in. In fact, I would suggest you activate demon mode before ever being in Believe Tisha mode. Okay? Never be in Believe Tisha mode.
Yeah. Okay. Is that it? All right. So now this is the Google search part. Here we go. It's just like a quick couple clips.
And can you read into the record the text of that search?
Yes. Is it common for a mother to have resentment or even anger towards her child because of the father or another reason?
The search was parenting should be 4 people, not 1. What's the next search on January 25th, 2020 and what time? Also 1:40 p.m. I'm over doing all the work for my stepkids and their mom doesn't help. What's the next search on January 25th, 2020 and what time? It's at 1:48 p.m. and it reads, if you aren't involved in your kid's life, you are shitty. What's the next search on January 25th, 2020 and what time? 1:49 p.m. My husband's ex-wife does nothing for her lids. What is the next search on January 25th of 2020 and what time? 1:54 p.m. One day, some people will, wish they treated you differently.
Both of them using Google as their personal damn diaries or whatever. Leticia's was very weird the way that she did it. I can't even get over it. And I expected to see Google searches during Megan's trial. We didn't see that. But yeah, both of them complaining to Google about being a mom, having resentment. Just I thought that was interesting to kind of put those back to back like that. Oh, okay. So now we're going to get into the courtroom behavior. Now, Letecia, it's so blurry because the court footage wasn't good. If you guys remember with Leticia's trial, we had a pretty our view was from quite a ways back. You could zoom in, people did zoom in, but they were using the Zoom cameras. We didn't have a court feed where somebody was there, like a media pool where everyone could get the footage from. This was the Zoom cameras, if I'm not mistaken, because, right, you guys? Because the footage.
Letecia? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Leticia's trial was over WebEx.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so we're going to hear first about Leilani, and I did put what she did in here twice because it goes so fast, so pay attention. Then we're going to hear the prosecutor talk about her behavior. Then we're going to see Leticia's behavior, and then hear the prosecutor talk about her behavior. Okay. Oh, Boho Hobo, thank you. Best weekend ever, ladies. Aw.
Thanks, Boho.
It's so cool to just hang out with you guys on the weekend and just go through and relax and watching this, together. I love it. So
thank you, Boho.
Hey, Peekaboo. All right. Ready?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Goes fast.
After we recessed yesterday. I was advised by somebody, I forget whom, that the defendant could be observed mouthing some words during the testimony of our last witness yesterday, Talia McCarta. I went back and looked at the court TV footage from that testimony, and it did appear to me that at some point during that testimony, while Talia was relating one of the vignettes that she shared with the court, that the defendant did mouth quite noticeably, that's a fucking lie, or you're a fucking liar, or something to that effect.
Ooh.
She's furrowing her brow and acting.
Look at her. I'm sorry. I have to pause and look at her. And I'm sorry, hearing the prosecutor talk like that, it kind of like, wow. You know, he's a good looking. I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. I don't know, just something about it. Let me rewind for a second.
Quite noticeably, that's a fucking lie, or you're a fucking liar, or something to that effect. And she's furrowing her brow. And
From Leilani.
She didn't do that, but it's caught on video that she did. The court can go back and see it.
And the 2 sticker scales that were on the garage floor were.
Okay, now this is even worse because it's in the vertical mode and it was already blurry. But remember, you guys, I'll post this and you can go back on your phone. You'll see so much better. And plus, you guys can zoom. If you're watching on your phone, just zoom.
Yes,
Yeah, I forgot about that. So watch Letecia flip a couple people the bird, and then we'll hear the prosecutor talk about her behavior.
Close to those 2x4s that were previously mentioned.
384.
People's Exhibit 384 is now a close-up photograph of the possible blood stains identified using placard B.
Our positive reaction photograph after the bag had been removed.
457.
We've rotated slightly to the east. This is a photograph of the southeast
Sitting
corner
there,
of the garage,
just spinning the middle finger
highlighting
around.
those boards and the box directly south of the boards.
It's come to our attention that during I think mostly the afternoon session of witnesses today, that the defendant has been flipping the bird potentially to witnesses or to our family that are here for Gannon. And there have been pictures that have been passed to me during this process. One, it's disrespectful to this court. It's disrespectful to this process. And I would ask the court to admonish her to refrain from acting this way in the future during the pendency of this case.
Okay. I've not seen any of that, but on the other hand, the defendant is to my far right. I can see her some on a screen, but I'll just take it as is. Ms. Stauch, what you need to understand is that I can control the conduct of an awful lot of people in the courtroom, including yours. And don't do that. Don't show that kind of, don't be making disrespectful gestures to witnesses, to people, to family members, anything like that. You need to understand that if that continues, I can have you removed and the trial will continue without you.
Now, y'all, that was either one of the Volturi or Maria Sanchez. That definitely wasn't Tisha. She would never.
That was one of the most epic moments ever. And he's like, I will literally handcuff you to this table if you can't control yourself.
That was my favorite part.
I wish I would have gotten the damn pictures of her, like, because I know I've got some good ones of her flipping the bird and stuff, but I wasn't thinking. I was just trying to get it done. Oh my gosh, though.
Kelly, I see in the comments now. I saw this. These were comments that were made to me as well when I was streaming the trial. That Megan flipped off her father, and
What?
I can't find it.
Oh,
I've tried to find it. I've gone back and scrubbed through each and every, like, the whole testimony of her father, even like when he got up when there was a break and all the thing, and I cannot I cannot find it.
Interesting. Why would she do that? I guess because he's testifying against her and stuff. But
well, yeah, because for her, he's the catalyst for all this starting.
Right.
He's the one that called and reported. See, but this is what's interesting to me, and this is something that they didn't get into during the trial, but I would really like to know this. I knew we were going to have questions. I just left over. I just didn't think it would be this one. His call was not actually to report her missing. His call was allegations of lack of supervision and physical abuse. And that's very different, than she's been missing and we haven't seen her for 2 months.
Well, didn't he also though report her missing at the same time? Because he did tell Megan, if I don't see her, I'm going to call. And didn't he call CPS, not the police first?
He did call CPS, and see, that's the thing. That's where I got it from, because I thought for sure when that DCFS worker got up on the stand to testify, he was going to say, yeah, he called to report her missing, but he didn't.
It's very interesting. So yeah, Melissa, her dad is the one who not only reported her missing, but also gave the tip that found Evelyn.
Wow, man.
And she was on his property. He had said that he saw a car backed up to the building, but then I can't remember. What was it that like set him off to call? There was something happened that day where he called and gave the tip about the building.
Well, what had happened was he and his now ex-wife, the woman he was married to when this all happened, were talking about his current wife and Megan would swap phones quite frequently. And they were having a conversation about the last time that they swapped phones, and something in that conversation, because of course they can't testify what was said because that would be hearsay. So it was something in that conversation that made him remember that he had seen Megan's vehicle backed up to one of the buildings.
Oh, okay.
Or to the shed. Yeah, to the shed.
Thank you again. Oh my gosh. You are too good to me. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. It's so sweet. And welcome to the members. Speaking of that, let's do a Patreon giveaway. So I'm going to do 2. I'll let Melissa and Jen both choose a number, one at a time though. So we'll start with you, Jen, and just go down. So Jen, choose a number between 1 and we'll do 1 and 20 to make it easy. And the first person in the chat to guess it, I'll give you a Patreon membership. You just have to send me an email. And tomorrow we have a live where Jen is actually going to be a guest. So I'm really excited. So Jen, do you have your number?
I do. I put it in the back chat.
Got it. Okay. Let's see. Oh,
she didn't say to start yet.
Oh,
they never listen. Sorry. None of your numbers are going to matter until she says ready.
Yeah. Okay. So Melissa is way more used to it than I am. I'm a little unorganized with it. So I'm going to call me Sadie did put the 8 in first, but this time I'll say, okay.
I would type below, like type a comment, and then only the comments below your comment are going to count.
Okay. Perfect.
Well, let's let Call Me Sadie have this one. And then the next one,
yeah.
Do it by the way Melissa Jade said to do it. Follow Melissa Jade's rules.
That is how we'll do it. So call me Sadie, send me an email, and then yay, Pika, welcome. And then Melissa, okay, your turn. A number between 1 and 20. And you guys, I have to give it to Melissa. She's the one who even taught me that I could gift memberships on Patreon. And you put so much work into your Patreon. I know Jen just uploaded a documentary to hers, but thank you, Melissa, for all your help. For real. I appreciate it so much.
How do you gift a membership? I don't know how to do that.
I'll teach you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Below Melissa's comment there. Go. Let's see. From 1 to 20.
I knew too many of you were going to guess 4, and that's why I didn't.
She didn't choose 4 because she knew you guys would guess 4. 11 is a good one, but it's not it. But that's always one of my go-tos. Oh, Justin, you got it. Yay. Justin,
My
email me.
birthday. You all should have known this. Hey, Justin.
Oh, okay. Welcome. You guys email me and I will send you a link. If you're a free member, you do have to cancel and then accept the link. And if you guys are interested in case files, timelines, anything like that, I upload all of that to my Patreon on the free tier. And then the paid tier is for lives and videos and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, go check it out if you guys haven't. And thank you guys, Melissa and Jen, for
you're welcome. Thank you.
Yay. Congrats, our new Patreon members.
Yeah. MJ is making me and Allie look like absolute slackers.
Oh, yeah. With her Patreon, you are, Melissa. You are killing it. I told Jen that like yesterday or the day before. I was like, dude, MJ is killing it on her Patreon. And it's got me motivated to do more on mine because you put so much work and effort into everything you do. Both of you guys do. And Melissa, with your Patreon, you've put so much work and effort into that. And I love it. I love it so much.
And I do prefer odd numbers, but I tricked you. And it's my birthday. The 20th is my birthday. So,
I've never been in a Patreon. Michelle, if you join the free tier, I just started a wellness chat. So like there's a general chat that's on the free tier, a paid chat, and then I just started like a wellness chat to share like supplements and workouts and diets and just anything like that for people on that kind of journey. But yeah, Melissa, I appreciate you because you're helping me get my butt in gear.
Yes.
And I think
then we have the trickle down because then after Allie saw, then she's like, Jen, you can't be making a documentary that takes 7 years and then it's a monthly. You cannot be doing that, ho. Get it together, ma'am.
No.
But she said it nice the way Allie says it.
I think you guys should check out their Patreons because, I think you would enjoy it. And Melissa does like all the the calls that can't be on YouTube. So over there. Justin, thank you for gifting a membership.
Hey, Justin.
Look, obsessed with all MJ's Patreon content. You've done so well. You have inspired me, my friend, for real, though. You have. So, okay, let's go. Now, this one is, look, it's an amazing documentary, though, Carol said.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Carol. I'm glad you like it.
That is so awesome. Okay, so now we're going to get into the police interrogations.
Okay.
And
these are always fun.
Yeah. And we do have some Casey in here. So Melissa works so hard. She doesn't even like to take time off when she's sick or tired. I know it is motivating. It is. But as a friend, sometimes you're like, if you're sick, dude, rest because you have worked so hard. You can do that. But I agree. It is motivating.
MJ, while I have you here, I want to extend this to you directly. If one of the girls, for whatever reason, cannot fulfill their duties as an email reader, you know that I would be more than happy to step up and help you read.
Hell yeah. Thank you. I'd love that.
Welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I will. Look, I love to make fun of people. So hell yeah, I'll get up there and read.
Mind boggling, but it's very, it's bad to say it's entertaining. It is entertaining, but it's on a psychological level. It's like, what?
Yeah. It's interesting what people will write. And the thing is, when they when you email a prisoner, those are not private conversations. Okay. Like the jail or the jail screens them. So it isn't like, that's why the communication takes a while, but so they're not private conversations, but I would imagine that some of these ladies didn't read that in the fine print and they are big mad and big butt hurt that they're part of the public record. Should have read the TOS.
It's amazing how little of them actually realize, hey, this is not privileged, and it's just mine. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Don't these people have Google? What are you doing?
They don't. No, this is just about. Listen, he's innocent. He's innocent, and that's what this is all about. Obviously,
that to me is the that is the one I tried to see it from their perspective, but I just cannot get my head up my own ass that far. I just can't do it to see where they're coming from at all. I do not understand. I do not see how they can possibly think that this guy is innocent.
They don't. They haven't looked into it at all. Like, they really just are. It's the physical attraction, which is very interesting to me, because we hear, hey, you know, like, love makes you blind, but this isn't love. This is, hey, I see this man on TV for murdering 2 women, and I'm attracted to him, and so therefore I don't care about any of it. And that's just, I don't know what word that is, and it's not hybristophilia. Like, no, like, they're just attracted to him. It's not like some of them, they are attracted to the crime and the fact that he's an inmate, but most of them aren't. It's just Wade.
And that's the part that I'm having such a difficult time understanding, because I don't find him good looking, and like, good looking is relative, right? So, okay, let's throw that away. Let's talk about like his personality. Yeah, it's not even, he's not funny. He's not clever. He's not witty. He's none of the things. He cannot even drive stick. Ladies, what are you thinking?
I don't know. There's no excuse.
I know. It's insane. Melissa, thank you for being a member for 12 months. You ladies have stuck together through thick and thin. That is so true. We've been through a lot, you guys.
Yep. We have been through a
lot.
Too much.
Yeah, but I'm thankful for you guys. I love you both tons. And yeah. Jonesy says, oh my God, and the laugh. It is so bad. His laugh. Oh.
He laughs like the Joker.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Okay. Now
but like the Temu Joker. Okay. Like, he doesn't sound like Jack. My favorite Joker was Jack Nicholson. I love Jack Nicholson as the Joker. I just thought he was really good. But his laugh isn't like him. It isn't like, I cannot remember the actor who played the Joker in the
Heath Ledger, Jared Leto.
Yeah, none of the N-O.
But let's get back into these.
Yes. Yeah. Focus. Get out of the weeds, Jen Lou. Get out of the weeds.
Hey, we're all in the weeds, but Clicker, love you, Allie, MJ, and Bindi, and this community. Oh,
Clicker.
Oh, thank you, Clicker. Love you too.
Okay, so this is the last video I put together for us. It's longer, but the clips are longer too. So each clip isn't going to be like over 2 minutes, but it's just going through their interrogation. I tried to do it in order, so we'll have like, back and forth, but it'll start with, for instance, with Letecia, Bethel first and then Gruesing. You know what I mean? So that, but if with Megan, there might be something out of order. I tried to do it the best that I could. I also did this at like between 1 and 4 a.m. this morning, for like, that's all I was doing and trying to stay awake. So I'm just crossing my fingers and hoping that it's okay. So, hey, Okie, happy birthday, by the way. I heard it was your birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And then Tiff, thank you for being a member for 7 months. You guys are awesome. Thank you, guys. Okay, so here we go. Let's just get into it, and then I'll explain as I know what it is, because I can't even remember. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
November, December. The baby with you? Yeah. All right. So you and baby went to Texas. Yeah. Yeah. Right. And I was the first time that he met her. We didn't really have anything to do with her up until that point. Okay. Okay. So sometime in December, me and Hunter moved in together. Hunter's boyfriend? Yes. Okay.
Hold on. I just want to acknowledge you, Michelle, because you've said nice things about the way that I put these videos together a couple times. And it did take a lot of time, like not a ton of effort or super hard, but it took a lot of time. And so I appreciate that so much. It really means a lot to me. So thank you. Okay. Sorry.
But at that time, Evelyn was not with me when I started saying that Ethan had her. All right, so when you and baby went to Texas in November, the first time she met Ethan, did she come back with you? Yes. All right, so y'all went to Texas, had a couple weeks. Yeah. She come back with you. Mm-hmm. And then walk me through from November to December.
Okay, I had her up until, me and her didn't start staying together until probably like the middle towards the end of December.
Okay.
So up until that point, I lived in the trailers at my dad's.
Right.
I know it wasn't any longer than like December 25th, because I was with Hunter on Christmas, and also that's when the lights got cut off, because I just completely like moved all my stuff out.
Okay.
Okay, and then Ethan got hurt.
When?
On Christmas Day, me and Hunter, we came back from Pigeon Forge, on Christmas Eve, me, my dad, and Hunter, like everybody took a trip to Pigeon Forge, and then Christmas morning, we came back, and he got her then.
Did he come up and get her? Did you take her to him?
No, we took her to him.
It's coming back to me, and just really pay attention, because these cops are going to very quickly be done with her shit.
Right.
And then Tess, thank you so much. This comparison stream has been fascinating. What are you going to say?
Well, they were not in Texas for 2 weeks. So already lie number one.
Lies. It's almost, this clip's almost done. Hold on.
Nobody, and
Where did you
also
take her?
obviously they never took, there was no they. Nobody took Evelyn at Christmas time. No, none of that happened, but they were not in Texas for 2 weeks. It was like 4 days.
Well, she's getting ready to say that she wasn't there at Christmas. Hold on, let me play the rest. It's only a couple seconds, and we'll.
All right, sorry
about it. No, it's okay. I'm the one who paused. Don't be sorry. Okay, here we go.
Wherever his grandparents' house is, like a long gravel driveway. It's all part of Boswell.
Okay, so it's local. All right. So what made you all take her to him? Because he's not in her life.
Christmas morning, we came back, and he got her then.
Did he come up and get her? Did you take her to him?
No, we took her to him.
Where did you take her?
Wherever his grandparents' house is, like a long gravel driveway. It's all part of Boswell.
Okay, so it's local. All right. So what made you all take her to him? Because he's not in her life.
Well, because he was like complaining about wanting to know her. I mean, like that's her dad. I was trying to give him a fair shot. You know what I mean?
Was your plan to leave her?
No, I wanted to get her back.
Okay.
And then the fire was on the floor over here. Then
Okay. Now, so this is the beginning of her, first interview that I could find, where she's getting ready to already start calling her on it. Like Jen said, full of lies. It's just complete bullshit. To me, okay, one of the biggest things, like listening to it, is the Christmas thing, because obviously you didn't have her at Christmas. Like there's more. It goes on in other interviews and stuff, but it's her first Christmas. Like, okay, she turned one. She would have had one Christmas at like a month and 4 days old, because she was born November 21st.
Yeah, it doesn't count, really.
Yeah. And the first Christmas is a big deal.
Big deal. Very big deal.
So why didn't people, like more family and stuff, I don't know, push like and ask questions? I don't know.
You would think so, right?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Curious Christine. This is great. Thanks so much. I appreciate that.
Thanks,
Very
Curious
nice.
Christine.
Jen, what do you think? Oh, she's probably smoking. It's the first Christmas she could participate in, right? Hey, Homer. Good to see you.
Hey, Homer.
Okay, so now Tisha, and I saw the beginning, so I remember. She's going to talk about the fire here, and just kind of it's towards the beginning of that first interview with Bethel.
In my fair shot, you know what I mean?
Was your plan to leave her?
No, I wanted to get her back.
Okay.
And then the fire was on the floor over here, then on the sofa. So I'm pretending this is the sofa and this is our floor. So it was right here and right here. And I saw the candle that was over here. So there was covers everywhere, because the kids always get on about, they leave a lot of covers laying around all the time. I mean, there's like 10 quilts and LOLs, blankets and all this. So they were all right here. So I take a whole bunch of them, and I go and like basically smash down on the sofa and the fire to put it out. So I got a burn, and then I was like, get up again, and started running at that point, because it wakes him up. He's alert. He's realizing that the covers and everything's on fire, the carpet's on fire, and we all go outside. So we get in Albert's truck and we drive off. And I drove off in panic, because I saw that I put the fire out. So I knew that there was no and nothing wrong, that it wasn't keep going. I drove off in panic because I just like, oh my gosh, what do I do now? Like, we break the carpet, we done this with this. Gannon's upset, freaking out because he's scared he's going to get in trouble and da 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 da. So, the whole talk was going on. So we drove maybe around the block a little bit and came right back. So we came back in and developed a plan for the next day to figure out, honestly, we were going to fix the carpet and try to not say anything. And the reason for that is because Albert freaks out about every little thing. If the kids do something and I'm on it's me, and he'll be like, you didn't do this, you weren't being a good stepmom, you weren't doing this, you weren't doing that. And so we both kind of were a little worried about it, and he gets very crazy if something goes wrong.
Okay, first of all, I have for one, at the end of my days, whenever I'm an old grandma and I go to sleep forever and I get to figure out all the questions that I never knew and that kind of thing, if that ever happens, the candle will be one of the things I want to know.
100%.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Why?
Absolutely.
What is the story with that? And what is the truth? What started it? We already know the carpet was changed multiple times, 3 pieces of carpet. There's so many things that don't add up. But first of all, the first thing I want to ask you guys or see what you think about this. When she's describing the fire and jumping and putting it out, I feel is that a little bit of leaking, or is that anticipating Gannon being found and some of his injuries? What is that about? And then the last thing before I'll hear from you guys is Al immediately throwing him under the bus. Oh, we were worried, because, really? Wow, you're all the same. Throw everyone and anyone under the bus if it gets you out of it. Okay, that's all.
Okay. I have been down this rabbit hole so many, many times. To me, I'm only going to tell you what it looks like to me. To me, it doesn't look like there was actually a fire. To me, what that carpet looks like is hot wax was spilt on it in an attempt. It looks to me like she knocked a candle over in an attempt to start a fire. But sometimes you don't, yes, she just did it wrong. And I think at this point in the timeline, when Letecia is in the El Paso County Sheriff's Department, Gannon is also still in Colorado. I think because she hadn't moved him yet. I think that the covering him with blankets story and stomping out the fire, I think that was an attempt to explain some injuries that she had given to Gannon. And to me, what I hear in that video is something different than what other people hear. Yes, Gannon does talk about burns, but I believe that the video is taken intentionally and he's been coached. He is repeating a story that Letecia told him to say.
What, when he says, I'm just worried about my burns?
Yes. I don't
what
think
do you
that
think about
she
that
actually
being cut
burned
off?
him. Huh?
What do you think about that being cut off? Because when it was shared on social media, we didn't get that part.
No, we didn't get the I'm bleeding part.
Oh, yeah, the I'm bleeding. That's right. Wait, did we get the I'm just worried about my burns?
Yeah.
Okay. It was just the I'm bleeding. Okay.
I'm bleeding. Now,
thank you, Melissa.
Burns blister. I don't think that he would have been bleeding from a burn. At that point, later maybe, but not
burn,
then. So what I think this is what I think happened. This is just my theory. I think that Letecia liked to give Gannon more Metamucil or not Metamucil, Miralax than what he needed or was a recommended dosage, because I think she enjoyed humiliating him. I think Letecia is incredibly cruel, and I think she targeted Gannon. And what I think happened is that she gave him a ton of Miralax and then said, hey, let's all go on a hike. I think that he had an accident, and I think that she just wailed on him. And so I think that is, and I think had he been found earlier, I think that we would have been able to see that in the autopsy. That's what I think happened. I think that the candle story, I actually think what Letecia was intending to do is, I do think she was going to try to set a fire. But I also think that I don't think she wanted Gannon to die in the fire. I think what she wanted to do is cover up any injuries that she gave him, and also simultaneously be the hero from rescuing him from the fire, and it didn't work. That's what I think.
I don't know. I don't know. I agree with a lot of that, but I think I have some differing opinions. But Melissa, what do you think?
The fire expert testified that it was a flame retardant carpet. And so in order to get the burns that we do see, it would have been a very high temperature of flame for a very extended period of time. At no point do I think there was actual flames versus her. I don't think it was at all from the candle. We don't see, we have the candle, like we see the candle. Even the wax isn't indicative of it was sitting there melted and it got knocked over. That's not splattered. It's nothing. But what throws me a little bit off is that we do know that there is soot on some of the blankets. And so that does throw me a little bit. I'm like, all right, because we know that she says she took the blankets and kind of jumped over. I don't believe she jumped on him at all with the blankets, but that I'm like, okay, how did it get there type of deal? Or is that just from the smoke? Because it would be black, like if you're sitting there, let's say with like a torch of some sort, it would be like that black, gross smoke that the carpet would produce.
Right. And there would be soot, I think, on the walls too.
Yeah.
That's why I don't think there was a fire. I think that the carpet was melted.
Right.
On
That's
fire.
what I think.
And I kind of think that the soot, MJ, sorry.
No,
let
you're
me
fine.
not interrupt you. That was rude. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I also wonder, were there fireplaces in that house? Because I'm wondering kind of if that's where the soot came from, but there was also soot, or like, you know how if you let a candle burn too low,
yes,
how there'll be that black.
Mm-hmm.
It almost looks like, did she pick that candle up, or you know what I mean? Or did she try to get some soot out of the fireplace? I mean, the candle means something. I just don't know what it means, because it's the only one detail she stuck through. She was consistent. Okay, you keep going, because I like where you're going.
Well, that's a problem. I don't know too much where I'm going. I do believe that that infamous last recording we have of him, yes, in ways are coached, and it's a way of documenting. She wanted to document something, but I'm not quite sure if the burn part, we hear genuine emotion in Gannon. So even if it's staged, I have to account for he's still an 11-year-old child. It seems like he's been going through a lot that day. And so how much is genuine, how much isn't genuine? And unfortunately, we will never know if he even indeed had burns. I do believe he did. I just don't believe that he acquired them in obviously the sense that she's relaying, but I don't know. This is going to haunt me, honestly, forever, because we're never going to have those answers. Yet it's such a weird piece of the puzzle. And like Ali said, we have multiple pieces of carpet. We have Gannon's blood that we know was at least in that area. And then that makes you go, huh, because like you said, Bendy, that wouldn't have been from the burn. So what injury did he have that she was trying to cover up with this staged event?
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that Gannon's emotions, and to me, Gannon sounds confused. He sounds like he's being gaslit.
Oh,
and, he is. But also he sounds like, I think that the emotions that are coming out of Gannon in that video that we hear are absolutely genuine. But what I think is the words that he's saying are coached.
Do you believe he had already been administered the hydrocodone at that point?
No, I think that I think he was confused about why she was videotaping him and why he needed to say something that wasn't true. That's what I think the confusion
Well, then
is.
she starts about the couch. We're going to sell the couch. I
Yes.
think he's confused too because she's manipulating, making it look like something else. I definitely
Yes.
think he was bleeding from another injury.
He was hurt because he was
hurt.
He was
he was hurt.
Yeah.
I do think she wailed on that little boy. I think she wailed on that child. I do.
And let's not forget, the next day he's walking out to the car with her. He is in so much pain. Number one, the neighbor said, when I saw the footage, he looked drugged or something was off. He didn't seem right. We see him drop something. He doesn't bend over and pick it up. She grabs it because I don't know. I feel like he's moving slow. When you drop something, your instinct is immediately bend over. That tells me, something's very wrong. And I think you're right, Jen, she was trying to cover up whatever happened with the fire. But my thing is, when does it turn into this violent? I mean, my God, it was very violent and rageful.
She killed him 3 times. Let's be real.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
And it seemed like she just so much hate and rage came. Like it was brutal. There are so many ways to take someone's life, right? But the way she did it was just, oh God.
I think that the hydrocodone came in the night, like that same night, but later. I think when Harley went in there to look after him or to check on him or saw him or whatever, I think that he'd already gotten a dose of the hydrocodone or 2.
Me too. I think that's why, she probably thought he would not wake up maybe that way. I think that's why every window was open and it was so, she left him sleeping in the cold and everyone else got to sleep
upstairs.
Imagine him scared, hurt. God only knows how hurt he was by that point, all through the night. And she hurt him in a way that she knew she couldn't come back from. She wasn't going to be able to get out of that one. You know what I mean? But Darlene, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Okay, so I'm going to set up the redirect for your live, Melissa, and I'm going to play so we can try to get through this because I see
fine.
I know you don't care, but I still want to try to get us to the time you're supposed to start. So, okay. Is there anything else though about that? We still have more to go. So,
okay,
more Tisha to go. So, okay, here we go.
10:40 p.m. We're here at 10:40 p.m. So I was turning on 204. I was probably going to go payback or something. Payback from him. To be honest with you, I was going to go pay back $20 from him. For Danny. Daniel, that's who King is. That's Danny. He had $20 a week. I want to pay it back. Whatever. But he was awake at that time. He was up. He was awake at that time. Quentin had just went to sleep. He had stopped all the crying and all that stuff. And that's why I left, because he went to sleep at 10:30. And it only takes him 12 minutes to get to a 4.
Just a quick pause. I don't know if I meant to thank you out loud, MK. I don't remember if I just did in the chat or because we were on a roll. So if I did, then I'm going to thank you again. And if I didn't, I want to make sure to say thank you because that is really sweet, incredibly kind. Thank you so much.
Thanks, MK.
Thanks, MK Leon.
Here we go.
So that would have been important for us to know before. So that's what we have to understand everything. And you have to be kind of open book. I wasn't good or bad. Yeah, it's not like I was trying to be, but I'm trying to replay everything over and over, and I've been doing it all day. All day. I forgot about that. That was not on my mind. My mind is, this is where I went, this is what I did, this is the last time I see my son, and he's in here now. And you mentioned he was crying a lot. Yeah, he was not. Was that abnormal? No, but it's not like crying. Like, it's not crying. He just, talking to himself, a constant baby talk. It's almost like he's singing to himself. I don't know their name, but I kind of know about where they live. So now.
It's just sad hearing her talk about. It's just, you know, the beginning of her interrogations. It's sad to hear her talk about him, you know, baby babbling, and.
But she didn't use baby babble initially. Initially, she said crying. I believe that was the truth. I believe she lost her temper because I believe that she was wanting to get, you know, higher than a kite on whatever she could, and he was interrupting that. And I think that's what was the catalyst for all of this with Quentin, because initially she said crying. And then when the officer or the detective asks her about crying, it's the tone in which he asks her that she's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. So she switches it. Well, not really crying. You would look, I know that Leilani is not going to be winning any, you know, getting an invitation to the Mensa meetings. Okay. I get it. But she knows the difference between crying and baby and cooing, baby babble.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Now, I do think he did do that because we heard from like her brother and Danny that he would kind of just sit there and just go on and on, Danny, and just babble. But that's really good observation. Maybe this night she's thinking more about him crying when she heard him, whatever, you know, she did, than him actually standing there doing the baby babble. And Darlene, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Darlene.
What do you think, Melissa? Anything?
About
that was a big sigh.
Well, yeah, which freaking part?
Well, just number one, her talking about him babbling, or do you think, because she does say he was crying at first, do you think maybe what do you think about that?
Little leaks, you know? It makes me sad to think about, but
yeah,
I think little parts were true, just not in the same way with like Letecia, you know, like she's sharing parts of a story, just not in the sense that actually happened, but little moans or leaks or babbling. But I do remember Danny on the stand, he did babble, you know, he did sit there and kind of, because he was left alone to go put himself to bed and self-soothe every damn night. So I just don't know if that was specifically this night. Was that what angered her? Is that he woke back up and he was sitting there babbling something? You know, I don't know.
Yeah. Katie, the one we just played was Leilani, and this is about to be Megan, and it's going to go back and forth. We're about to get some Casey Anthony in a minute, but is there anything else before we keep going?
No.
Yeah, good.
I was interfering with her getting high, and he would wake others up. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's more what it was. I think she was angry. I think for whatever reason, he did cry that night. And I think that she was angry because she had to come in and take care of him. And she did not want him to wake up the newborn. That's their daughter. I think that's likely. She was she was highly agitated and angry that night.
And they're all in one room, guys. Like, it's one room.
Remember, and she goes to get some dope, and he can't meet her. She can't get it. Interesting. Okay, so here's Megan. This is just, I don't know. We'll see what it is.
Oh, this man that don't know your child is taking your child to someone's house.
Wait, this is her getting called out. So I'm going to rewind it so we hear the very
This is the best part.
She's getting called to the carpet very quick in one of the first interviews.
It's almost like he's singing to himself. I don't know their name, but I kind of know around about where they live. So now this man that don't know your child is taking your child to someone's house that you don't even know their name? What with his friends? Like, I understand where you're coming from, but also I was really trying to give him the doubt because he never helped me with that. How many benefits of the doubt are we going to get him in the story before you start telling me the truth?
Ooh. Watch her just sit there. she kind of sits there and absorbs. She doesn't just like Letecia speaks quickly. Megan kind of sits there and absorbs it for a second. It's like she's trying to line it up in her brain.
Yes, Megan is like the velociraptor of liars, right? She's trying to figure out. She took a moment to gauge the detective's response and what she had just said. You know, she heard what she said. She's looking at her face, and the wheels. You can hear the wheel up there turning. Yes. What am I going to say next? I mean, the detective is asking the right questions. I don't give a rat's fat kneecap if your friend, if it were Jesus Christ himself that you were taking him to, that you were taking my child to. If I don't know them and I don't know you, you're not going to keep my kid, period.
Yep.
Not give them the doubt. You never helped me with that. How many benefits of the doubt are we going to get him in the story before you start telling me the truth? Because there's two ways this can go, okay? In order to do our job, we got to have your cooperation, and you've got to be honest with us, okay? But if you sit here and you continue to lie, which I know you're doing, it's not going to end well, okay? Because at the end of the day, we're going to figure out what happened. We are. Okay?
And that was today. Yeah.
She just nods. Wow, crazy.
And that's what I was going to say, Natasha, too. Like, Megan is less theatrical than Letecia. And you're right, Allie. Like, it takes she actually listens versus reacting when getting called out. And, like, let me think about this and then respond. It's both lies, but Tisha's like, let me derail you from even getting your thought out, kind of causing chaos in the room. And you don't even remember what your original question was.
Yeah. Letecia sounds like Letecia is to me seems like she's reacting like somebody who's scared of getting caught. Yeah. Megan, on the other hand, doesn't seem scared at all. Like if it had been Tisha who was confronted, and there is a moment at one point that Letecia does get confronted about lying, and she flies completely off the handle. Megan is just sitting there like they just told her, you know, you're going to drive 2 miles, then you're going to make a left on First Street, then you're going to make a right on Pioneer Avenue. You know, that's it.
Part of me thinks that she was scared, and that's why she's silent. That, you know, she like, I almost feel like if I was sitting next to her, I could have heard the gulp, like, you know what I mean? But then again, like, I do agree with you, because even when we were talking about it in your chat, Jen, like, this was one of the first conversations we had about doing this. I mentioned it, and Dr. B was like, Megan's not anxious at all. Letecia is very anxious. Megan, I don't see that with her.
Yes. And that's what's scary about, I mean, don't misunderstand me, please. Both of these women are dangerous. They're just dangerous in different ways.
Yeah. Okay. This one I think is just kind of quick. I don't remember what it was.
I don't recall Megan ever clapping back at that detective and saying, I'm not lying.
Oh my gosh, I forgot. Okay, so I do put Tisha like needing to open the door. What we were talking about.
Oh my God.
For anxious. But I recorded this and I didn't include it, but I almost did. If you go through Casey Anthony's interview, like at the bottom, you scroll through kind of like I'm doing right here to see how long the clip is. And like, let's say you scroll through at least half of it. She is nonstop moving, fidgeting. We're going to hear, there she is. We're about to hear from her. But yeah, she fidgets a lot too.
Is she a Jodi Arias and popping handstands?
Singing. She's sticking her finger in the light electrical outlet. Fuck off, Jodi.
Yeah. Okay, here. Let's see what this one is, and then we'll go.
Yes. Okay. Do you have a history of trying to harm yourself?
No. He'll say things like, he tried to say something about, like, I'll grab a knife, and he is not true. I do not do that. Like, I've never done anything like that in my entire life. Never have seen any kind of counseling.
And listen to her tone. It's almost playful. It's like she takes on this, like, I don't believe she has DID at all, but it's almost like she takes on this like jovial personality.
No, I have never yeah. Meanwhile, in all of her jail calls, she's like, "Man, I've had issues all the live long days."
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're gonna figure out what happened.
It's whatever suits her at the time.
Okay.
And that was today. Yes. Okay. Do you have a history of trying to harm yourself?
No.
Or?
He tried to say something about like I'll grab a knife, and he is not true. I do not do that. Like I have never done anything like that in my entire life. Never have received any kind of counseling for anything prior to anything like that, disturbing somebody, nothing like that. So there would be no, like reason. And I told you in the beginning that mental health thing, I've always tried to put a blocker up because I know that, things in your life can cause those problems. And I never did anything like that. Like, I might be like, because I was raised in the country, so it might be like someone says something to me, I'd be like a funny thing, like, you're watch out, like that type.
Sure, yeah.
But not anything that would have been like, I'm going to cut myself and harm myself. He
Interesting.
Was, like in his military mode, protection mode, and
well, he cares about you.
Wait, so they were talking about him putting up the gun right before that because I almost kept that part in. But so wait, is Al scary and gonna like freak out on
out,
you, or is it gonna protect you and look out?
Right. Right. Or how about this, Letecia? How about why come you didn't tell the popo about the men that were in hats and beards that were chasing you and that you had to go and hide out on base? Is it because that never happened?
Yeah, look at Dr. B.
Oh, hi, Dr. Stauch.
Oh, I'm so happy that you're here, Dr. B. I can't wait for her to come up and talk with you about some of this stuff, but just to have her in the chat for this will be interesting.
Yeah, it will.
MJ, you got anything?
No, I would never. Literally, you did. Actually, like literally, you did.
She almost sounds like she's trying to do the Consuela impression from Family Guy. No, I never picked up no knife. No, Superman at home.
It reminds me of that Jim John, the one that you play, Melissa. Sometimes.
No, Jim John Doe. No. No. That was like probably like one of the best moments, like because it's just she couldn't figure out what his name was. No, Jim John Doe. Oh no, just no.
Oh my god, what a mess, dude. Okay, let's see. This one looks like it's pretty short, so I don't know how. Listen to
I just won't. I sit here and I do have issues with this because I take all the blame on me. Anything that goes wrong, I take care of. I wear my heart on my sleeve and I really shouldn't.
Wear your heart on your sleeve. Oh, and throw your mom under the bus there. Give all her personal business. She said her mom was OD'd and buried in front of her.
And leaves in a ditch.
Yeah.
Shut up, Leilani. Even if that were true. You're back there living with your mother.
Yeah, I don't know.
So if your mom was so horrible, why are you and you're just so anti doing that to any of your children? Why would you have your children around somebody like that? Leilani, get the fuck out of here.
Okay, message from Melissa. All right, let's see. I think this.
So when were you going to notify us about your baby? And then
Never.
Tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow. Why
Tomorrow.
Because you waited months
See, this
And
is how
you
I
don't
would be
care too
questioning
much.
her
So-
ass. Oh, tomorrow.
I love it. This
And
person.
please, yes, and please, Megan, tell us why was tomorrow the end game?
Yeah, I know. Why
Is there
tomorrow?
a text or something that this is when you've decided? Get the hell out of here! I need my shut up, Meg. But I can't do
Shut
it
up,
because I'm
Meg.
on.
I
Yeah.
know. Your little video. Okay. I was going to rewind it to hear it again, but I want to not make Melissa too late, so I won't do that.
Tomorrow we can do 5. I was going to try to meet him tomorrow together.
Tomorrow, please.
Have you talked about that? Tell me he's
Shut up, little orphan Annie, with your tomorrow.
Oh, that was it. Oh, here we go. We don't even have to look.
Oh, fantastic. Here comes the hyperventilating. Think we're going to do some feng shui.
Watch, listen.
I'm very like fashion. Look at that outfit. Excuse
Really
me.
bad chest pain. I'm just asking to be out so I can breathe.
No.
It's tight and closed and I'm claustrophobic.
You just need to sit down on the couch.
It's really hurting, sir.
Sit down on the couch.
Sir, I can't.
Sir, you're not hearing me,
Sit down
sir.
on the couch. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Breathe. I'm just asking you to.
You
open
can
the
breathe.
door.
You're talking, ho.
Oh, there's the sound effect I did. Remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't
She
sit
said the
down on
same
the
thing.
couch with. Huh?
She said the same thing when she used her go-go gadget toe to open the door on the run. I can't breathe. Please. Can you turn the air on? Please. I know I just Hulk smashed you with a monster can, but please. I can't breathe.
Yeah, if you can talk, you're breathing. Shut up,
Oh
Tisha.
my God.
This is go sit down on the couch is the earliest version of shut up, Tisha.
Dude, they were so accommodating to her that they even offered to, you want me to get your Xanax? You want me to call your friend who has your Xanax? You want me to go to the car that you claim your Xanax in? Where's your Xanax? Because you keep claiming it wasn't exactly Xanax, but it was basically Xanax.
Ativan,
Yeah, Ativan. And it's like, they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to go out of their way to accommodate. Do you need to call someone? Do you need to get a number out of your phone to call someone? Like, who has it? But that's not what she was getting. She could never give him the answer because that's not what she needed, but they didn't have to be that accommodating.
My favorite part, though, is after this, when they finally get the ambulance there and they ask her how old she is.
Yeah.
And she says H or whatever.
Just me, you can actually zoom on your phone, just pinch. But most of these are not even about the video. It's some of them don't even have video. It's more about the sound. But they will be uploaded after the live with no commentary, and they'll be in vertical version, and you'll be able to see it better. But it's not really about the video, anyways. But okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, but they were like, how old are you? And she's like, H. What did she say? I don't remember what she said, but it was so ridiculous.
I think maybe they asked her how old she was or something, and she gave her birth date. Or they asked her her name and she gave them the birth date. I think that might have been it.
It was something ridiculous.
And she's like, star 69. Like, shut up, Tisha.
Yeah.
It's a great example of her anxiety, though, like her going to the door. Like Megan's just chilling there. Casey's anxious, but Leticia's like, oh, God, get me out of here. Don't even shut the door.
Right. Jody is just, holy night.
You gotta really, you're too much on key, MJ. You really got to get way off key and go real deep.
Yeah. That was even better. Like, do you know who's in this photo? And it he slams down like her naked photo of her in braids. And she's
looks
like
me.
I don't know who that is. You don't know who this is? No, the hair maybe looks a bit like mine. Like it's you. It's literally you.
Stop
naked
it,
right there.
Jody. You don't recognize your own titties when you see them. Shut up.
It was so ridiculous.
Get out of here.
That's not you? No, I don't think so. It doesn't look like me.
I'm trying to remember. Fuck off. My favorite part is the ninja diagram.
Yeah.
I just absorbed that she was next, even though I just mentioned the sound effect, but there's only 2 Casey clips, and yeah, okay, here we go to the first one.
Down on the couch.
It's really hurting, sir.
Sit down on the couch.
Sir, I can't breathe. I'm just asking you to open the door.
On all sides, to be honest with you. It may not be comfortable for everybody. And I've done things that if I get caught for, I'm not going to be comfortable, I can tell you that. It's just the way life is. You know, but it's not the end of the road either. And that's what we have to keep in mind. It's not the end of the road. You know?
Just a random question. Are there cameras in all of the rooms?
I have
or just
no
some?
freaking clue. I've never been in this part of the building. So
Well, I know this is
my
an
guess would be yes.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go get something to drink.
I really
First thing, pointing out the cameras. Also, he's like, yeah, he's making her nervous. By what he's saying. If you do something wrong and you get caught for it, it's not going to be pleasant. It's not this ain't going to work out for you. But the camera thing, that's what I noticed, and when I grabbed that part.
So you have cameras documenting everywhere. They can see me right now in every room. Yeah, everywhere.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
we see you.
Honestly, I think it worked out a little bit with it being vertical, because the closed captioning are above it, and I can still pull the comments without getting it too much in the way. So,
although you are covering MJ's little avatar over here,
that's okay.
I'm just teasing.
That's fine.
Is it true that Casey slept with her lawyer? Oh, I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard that before.
I've heard that.
I've heard that too. There's no. Look.
She only lives with them. Come on.
No, she lives with the private investigator.
I know. Come
on. I don't think Jose. No, no, because don't you? I mean, Casey's coming to the end of the gravy train, right? She's, they showed a picture of her not that long ago, maybe 2-3 weeks ago. She ain't looking that great, number one. And I feel like if he had, Casey would have evidence of that so that she could use it later. I wouldn't be surprised if she tried as a way as entrapment, but I don't think he took her. I don't think Jose, I mean, he's familiar with Casey's brand. So.
Right. Okay. So this next one is almost 2-minute clip, and I don't even remember what it is. So I guess we'll just watch it and see as we go. So we're just about done though, you guys. Excuse me. Okay.
Oh, this is Detective Price. I know who this is. I remember this.
Oh, he's hard on her too.
I love him, but she flirts with him too.
Okay, here we go.
I think you're at peace. Whatever happened to this little girl, you're at peace with it.
I'm not at peace with it.
Well, you don't act like you're not at peace with it. That's what I think too. I think you pulled it up on December 21st. That's when you started talking about it. But that has been 2 months processing. You're at peace with it.
I'm not at peace with it.
Well, why is it that whatever Evelyn is, whether she's alive or whether she's dead, you're at peace with it.
I'm not at peace with it.
You don't show it.
Just because I'm not crying all the time.
I'm not saying crying all the time. It's a little more than just crying all the time. I mean, like I said, I'm a parent. I have 3 kids of my own. If one of them, and they're older, and if one of them were gone, you couldn't tie me down anywhere, because I would be out if I was on foot in a snowstorm looking for them. But not you. You're out here at Bowling Rock, Ripley's Aquarium, going to pick up Olive Garden. Life is normal for you. She's gone, and you're at peace with it.
I know it wasn't exactly normal.
You're at peace with it. You're with Hunter. He's you're with him, doing anything with him, running around here, going places.
That does not mean I got.
And Evelyn's gone.
That doesn't mean I got peace with it.
How does it not? Because you were there. Not here with her, not looking for her. You were there with him. Are you at peace with it?
No.
When I
Okay. I thought that was so interesting. So, okay, I got to say this. Even though, like, the vertical issue and stuff, I did really try to grab, like, parts that would be interesting for us to talk about that lined up with each other, things like that. I loved that because he was right. You are at peace. You are obviously at peace. You're acting like, I mean, honestly, like you've never been happier. Going here, going there, hanging out with whoever. I love that part.
He's not wrong. I mean, and that is how Megan acted. She was going all over Hell's Half Acre, living her best life, not a care in the world. And there was absolutely, even when she finally told police a new story, a new lie, which was that her mom had Evelyn, there was no urgency. Even when she was talking about Evelyn, her mom having Evelyn in Mendota and wanting the cops to go check in Mendota, there was no sense of urgency. Listen, if it were my child, I would walk on my lips to find my children. Yep. Period. And I wouldn't even care about the weather. The weather would not even enter my mind. There's literally zero sense of urgency. That's why, to me, she doesn't come across, Mr. Scott, this is for you, sir. That's why she doesn't come across as scared. Because there's no urgency. There's no panic. There's nothing. She is unflappable.
Agreed.
Oh, Katrina, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
And you did do an incredible job, Allie. Listen, I know how it is to edit videos, okay? And the fact that if this had been me doing it, it would have taken me a week, because in order for her to do this, she's got to find the videos, then she's got to get them and then put them all together, which is the part that I can't sit still long enough to do it. And she did. So
thank you.
Give it up for Allie.
Thank you, Bendy. And thank you, Nurse Kristen, as well. Thank you, guys. Like, well, I mean, it's stuff I'm interested in, which makes it easier. But it is sometimes hard to find exact parts you want. And especially with Letecia's ass, because she says doesn't show up in the transcript. So,
she talks so fast. We were just listening to the pretext call on Wednesday. And it was the one where it's on the 14th on Valentine's Day 5 years ago. And she raged so much, it turned into dial-up internet. Do you remember that part? It literally, like the line glitches, okay? And the closed captions cannot register what the hell she's saying.
Oh, thank you guys. You are awesome. Yeah, it's crazy, but it's true. They cannot. Oh, you are so sweet. Okay, let's keep going a little bit. I don't know where the comment went. I meant to read it, but it said 3 of my favorite creators. We have to do this again sometime. It's been so much fun, and we will definitely do it again sometime on something else.
We will. I need to do a roast. It's been a while, and the more we talk about her, the more I feel the need to roast Jodi Arias, because there's just so much.
Do it.
Gosh, I just had something on my mind that I wanted us to do, all of us together. Oh, Jen, when we get our new videos back, we should have Melissa on to talk about some of them.
Yes.
That'd be fun.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, let's roast Jodi Arias. It's been a minute.
Okay, now we have Tisha and Mr. Grusing, Agent Grusing.
Agent, I don't believe nothing that's coming out your mouth, Tisha. Grusing.
Thanks, Kristen. Oh, I love him. I can't help it. I saw a Wolfie too. He just does such a great job in the room, on the stand, everywhere. I feel like in other cases sometimes I'm like I wish Agent Grusing was involved.
Me too. I would like to have seen Agent Grusing take a crack at Megan Boswell. I would have.
Yeah. Oh my God, I would have loved that. Okay, here we go.
I reached out to people about getting help. I said, hey, I need someone who's going to help me to help you guys. I couldn't get that from anyone at all.
We're happy to help you.
Okay. So I understand you might say you have like whatever evidence that you might say you have, but that's not a case. I did not hurt my child. Okay. Need more assistance besides just FBI. You're probably going to need some DEA, probably need a lot of help.
Well,
Okay.
I'm happy to get whatever help.
Okay.
How do you know?
But
who's
I
alive
can't
and
help you unless people are willing to help me. And I did offer every opportunity to sit down and talk with not only my husband, but with Landon to try to come up with the best plan to do it.
And doing from the very beginning, from that first day.
Okay, we have Miss Casey again. Would she say whatever evidence she tries to explain it away. I can't even remember what she said. It was just a clip of her first getting into gruesing. We're going to have more in a minute. But okay, so Casey.
You need to sit down and talk with not only my husband, but with Landon
Whatever,
to try to come up
Letecia.
with the best
Sure, you
plan
did.
to do it.
Shut up,
And
Tisha.
doing from the very beginning, from that first day. So they wrote me off within the first couple hours. So
I don't know if that's true.
that was the direct words that they pretty much gave to myself, and even they said that to my parents. So, I mean, I'm not trying to say something derogatory towards someone, but
No, okay.
Yes, you
We're
are.
just talking.
Casey.
We're just chatting.
so that was the only time they ever made any effort to try to talk to me one-on-one. And
No, it's kind of difficult.
that was kind of difficult considering.
Well, considering, obviously, in light of everything that's going on and the fact that you've been arrested for other things, makes it a little more difficult to sit down and even talk to you.
Mhm.
It's not that we haven't wanted to.
Yeah. But I do have counsel, and that's something that, my attorney's always been a phone call away. And it shouldn't have taken it getting to this point, 3 months in.
Has your attorney ever told you that we would like to speak to you?
And we had agreed, him and I together, that we would all sit down together, him and I, and you guys, and, we entertain whatever questions.
But here's the thing, you didn't until now when you're being arrested. Jose comes to the jail. This is the first one. It says, like I said, I don't know this case as well, but apparently this is her first interrogation. Jose comes to the jail and she ends up, I think that's actually at the jail, and they end up booking her, or it's at the police station and they end up booking her. But this is the difference between them all. You see her, I have an attorney. But here's the thing. If your kid's missing, why would you need to why do you need them to ask to talk to you? Aren't you going to do anything and everything you can to find the baby? Like,
Right,
I don't
that
know.
doesn't include look, they took this heifer to Disney World, okay, where or Universal, where she said she was working, okay, and went through the offices, right, and walked past all manner of people until they got to a dead end. And then she finally admitted, okay, I never worked here, as if they didn't know that.
She even said hi to the security guard when walking in.
Yes.
Like, hey, Bob, like he didn't know his name's not Bob, it's Chris. And he never seen you before. That's crazy.
Wow, I didn't know that. I knew she took them there, but I didn't know she even hey.
Said hi to someone passing.
Oh, yes. Oh, she did all the things.
Oh my God. I can't believe she got away with it. I swear if she didn't have that attorney, it would have never happened.
I have got to find that clip of that judge who
I have to
explains
see
it.
the evidence, though. I don't know what evidence they presented, so I can't even really say that. But you just see all these other women and they, it's really not even a hard fight for them to get them put away for a long time. Like maybe not life always or without parole, but it seems like, I don't know, they don't even put up a fight, and it seems pretty easy to get them convicted. But with her, she got away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Always a good idea to throw law enforcement under a bus while talking to law enforcement. Exactly.
But make sure that when you throw them under the bus and you do talk poorly about them and negatively about them, when they confront you with how you've been running your mouth negatively about law enforcement, you tell them, I wasn't trying to be derogatory while being derogatory. That's key. You have to have that second element there. It's always a good idea to gaslight The law enforcement, they love that shit.
They love that shit. Tess said they tried her case too high. In my opinion, they should have lowered the charges and she would have been guilty. The evidence wasn't there for murder one. Again, in my opinion, obviously. But think about it with the other cases. So I have to see it. But, you know, the lying, not reporting, things like that.
She was charged with that.
I know, but I'm just saying that's just like what Megan did. You know what I mean? And there's not necessarily evidence to show that Megan was premeditated either. Look, I mean, there wasn't even evidence to show that that Evelyn was 100% deceased before going in the trash can. Right. That was a big thing. So, you know, I don't know. Interesting. Sirach says, that was the thing that bugged me the most about her early interviews. She's all, my phone was on. If a parent isn't moving heaven and earth to find their missing child, I convict. That's definitely a big old red flag. Samantha, I think I'm going to. Seriously, I want to, maybe we all will. It would be really cool to revisit it.
But I'll say this, as far as like the moving heaven and earth, I need to hear that come out in court. Not while it's an open investigation.
Oh, God. Yeah, agree. I am so tired of cases being tried on YouTube and civil cases. Look, here's the thing. If somebody does something wrong, if somebody breaks the law, if somebody defamed, whatever, if it's in the court process, it will be worked out in court. You know what I mean? It will. And sometimes it's hard to wait for that, but it's really best because I just have faith that most times it will be worked out in court. Whatever needs to be. You know what I mean?
Agreed. I'm of the opinion if you're in litigation in any way, shape, or form, be it civil or criminal, exercise your right to remain silent.
Yeah. Agree. Kathy, thank you so much. Amazing job, Allie. Love all three of you. So much fun. Thank you.
I think, Darlene, yes, I think it was.
What did Darlene say? Was her trial? Ooh, okay.
I believe that it was, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else? We're almost done.
Okay.
Didn't hear anything else. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, what, you know, we've been around this circle, around and around and around and around. You know, and we've been nothing but nice to you. Give you every opportunity to tell us. We are trying to help you. Do you understand that? I do. And when you tell us lies, it doesn't help. When we've got all these resources tied up running down bullshit.
This is the day Leilani was arrested. I'm just going to let it play because it's real quick. Look, she's holding her hand. The FBI agent.
I mean, when you talked about like the limits and things like that, or just Francie's mind, is there something that would, you know, things that you're not supposed to be, you know, or like demanding some attention, you know, is there something that
The reason I included this and some of the others is just to show their demeanor as, like, this is as she's being arrested. We're going to see Megan as well. And Tisha, actually, I think.
Not a care in the world till them cuffs go on.
It's hard to understand this one. It was more about her demeanor, though.
I can't imagine 3 children and the stress and everything.
And here's what it's going to look like.
Okay, so like I said, that one was more about her demeanor, because that is right when she is going to jail. That's her last interview. This is Tisha's last interview, and in a second, we're going to hear Megan talk about how she Evelyn was rolled over on, and she held her and that stuff, and they're going to kind of call her out on that as well, like when she's when it's not making sense. But okay, here, let me just play this.
That you were the last one with Gannon. Nothing on this angel thing we can't authenticate any of that. When you say it's all off camera, like with the black and tall in the parking lot. We have cameras for that whole place, and we don't see you meet with anybody.
Well, can you like show me that so that I can show you what direction?
But you would know where it is. Where did
I
you
said
meet?
what direction, because I'm not from Colorado. So can I show you like on camera the video that you're talking about? What direction? Like where it would be at, and maybe you could pull like if you wanted to pull a camera off of another place. I mean, because there's lots of places you could have pulled a camera off of. That's all I'm asking for.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's offering help.
Yeah, it's help, but Deanna goes into this car. I mean, this is a person that you trust.
I do.
Right?
That's the thing. Why am I supposed to do it?
So then why would you go home and say that he's here, that he's now gone away, that you're leading?
I never said he was here now.
Well, but he was at the house.
Okay.
Yeah, but do you see where I'm going with that? Why would you make up that story to law enforcement?
What story?
Oh my
he was
God.
going to a friend's house.
Yeah.
What do you?
If her nephew was a friend.
Oh, Jesus fuck. You
Why
said a
did
friend in the neighborhood, Letecia. Stop playing with this man.
And she's been arrested here. Go ahead, Melissa.
Right.
No, it's just unbelievable. How many times she changed the story? Like, can we get an actual count? Because sometimes she didn't change the full story versus key details, but it's an insane. I don't know who's changed their story more than Letecia.
Nobody in the history of lying liar faces who tell lies. Even Lori didn't change her. Valo Daybell didn't change her story as many times as Letecia did.
It was bad.
Letecia changed her story at least 11 billion times. At least.
Yeah. The nephew. Why'd you make up the story about him going to a friend's house? Well, her nephew was a friend. What?
Yeah, y'all know I love
nephew?
a loop. Yeah. Y'all know I love. I think I have a little delay. Sorry, Allie. I love loophole, but not the way she's doing it. You said that he went to play with somebody in the neighborhood, Letecia. Stop lying. She had Harley and Lena driving all over the neighborhood looking for him while you stayed at home cleaning up the mess. Get the fuck out of here.
Yep. Exactly. Okay. Let's keep it pushing because we've got. Let me see here. I've got. Megan. Yeah. Okay, so the next one is Megan describing when she finally tells, it's tough to hear. I'll warn you guys. Then we have Letecia one last time, and then Megan and Letecia. They're quick back to back, 4 minutes, and we have about 11 minutes. We're going to redirect over to another stream. We're going to go through the portal, so be ready. Okay, here we go.
I mean, I don't understand how that's a problem.
You know this cooking. You know like if you don't leave her in her own way. Don't leave us on like this. Don't too long. Okay? This is for your baby. This is to give her the proper where she is. There's only two places I make the brush. Where she is. There's somewhere close to I think she's somewhere at Dad's house. Okay, his house? Maybe somewhere like, not like the dog store.
Somewhere at Dad's. So she's getting ready to explain like the holding her and stuff. But this is so interesting that they ask where could she be. Her story at this point is that her boyfriend disposed of the baby and that she didn't want to know. But why would she lead them to her dad's house? Maybe somewhere at Dad's, and that's where she was.
Okay, this is what I think, and this is what I told Allie. I think at this point, Megan is exhausted, and she knows exactly what condition Evelyn is in, okay? And I think she thinks they're not going to be able to tell.
Yeah.
And so, because Megan is saying that Hunter did it, and Hunter does have a record, right? I think that she just thinks that they're going to just believe her story. So she starts to leak and tell some truth. And she has to see, she's really in a rock and a hard place, right? Because if she doesn't give some kernels of truth, then they're not going to believe the rest of the Hunter rolled over on Evelyn's story. So she's got to tell some truth.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Megan is like devious.
Yeah.
She's smart in a but in a devious way. Like, I mean, I don't, she's definitely not like book smart, but she's absolutely street smart.
I would agree with that. Probably got it from her mom. But yeah, Melissa, so since you are more unfamiliar with this part, she was at her dad's, and that was one of the places that she offered up. Jen, I hadn't thought about that. I think that you're probably right that some of it has to be true. And she's going to say some true things here in a moment, what she was wearing and stuff, but for them to believe her about the accident.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because they're already side-eyeing her, and they've been side-eyeing her from the very beginning. Okay. And she's already been busted because the Ethan story fell apart pretty quickly when they went and talked to Ethan and then searched the dadgum barracks. Okay. The story about her mother fell apart pretty quickly because they arrested her mother and Evelyn. So now she's on the ropes. Okay. And this is like the final round, and there's like 2 minutes left, and she's got to tell them enough of the truth, or enough, not, let me put it like this, not the truth, enough true things, enough things that, because now she knows how it works. When she tells them something, they go verify it. So she's got to tell them enough things that are true to make the whole story sound plausible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that seems right.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, let's press play.
Underneath the docket hunters.
I don't know if she's underneath there. I'm just.
Is that what you're trying to tell me? I'm not putting words in your mouth.
That's just my theory. She has to be.
No, I don't want to go out with your son. You need to bring her home.
He said that she was the right person that let you places I can take that he would take her.
You're not honest with you. Okay, but you know this part.
I don't know for sure. I'm trying to help you all. I swear I am at this point.
This is beginning. Okay, let's bring her home. Let's bring her home.
There's a bunch of places I think that he would even have talked to take her children over.
Regardless of time, there has to be a reason that you would know that. Okay, because that.
He said she had to wear clothes.
In that time, there's only X amount of places she could be. Okay, but you're specifically narrowed down those two places. Right? Do you know? Help me with this, man.
Listen.
When he took her out with the driver, how was she dressed?
Yeah, that picture I have of her, she's in her own penguin suit.
She's in the penguin suit. Is she wrapped up in her blanket?
She was wrapped up in.
Did you give her to him?
Picked her up.
You picked her up, where was she?
On the bed. I held her for hours. I didn't want to let her go.
And that's okay. We need to bring her home. Okay? We need to bring her home today. Just tell us where we can go get her.
I don't know for sure. I told you where I think she's at.
Okay, hold on.
Farming Cannon, why would you clean up the blood that's on the wall?
So you're saying you've never had anything happen in your house and you cleaned it up? Never. Like, you've never had, like...
Why would you cut out the carpet?
Nosebleeds. The carpet?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was going to get more carpet. The carpet has nothing to do with cutting it out. It's getting the smell. It stunk. I couldn't breathe. None of us could breathe.
Did you say that Lena helped you clean up some of the blood on the wall?
Lena always helps us clean up everything. Lena helped us clean up the light switch. Lena helped us clean up when Jenna had a nosebleed.
Tell him, hey.
Okay, we have to pause there for just a moment. I want to try to keep it quick so we can be off by 9. But I just, poor Lena. You know what I mean? That's all I can think of. I had many thoughts before that, and then every one of them left me, and I'm left with that poor child.
Yep. I don't think Lena will, I think I hope not, but like as Lena gets older and is able to discern certain memories and understand, and I don't want to say, for lack of a better word, role she played, because it wasn't a willing role, right? She was a child, but I think it's going to hit a whole new level of victimization. Again, she's going to be re-victimized in the sense of understanding things she couldn't understand at her age.
And I worry for that too, but honestly, I hope it never clicks for her.
Yeah.
But surely it would, right? Because think about
Probably,
it. If
yeah.
you know your family has this kind of history, you're gonna probably, when you get older, look into it a little more and want
Well,
to
she
know.
won't, you don't have control. Okay, so your brain does great things about, keeping you protected from things you just can't handle, right?
Yeah.
But you don't have any control over when your brain decides that you're ready to know the things. And
True.
it's, it will come out.
And she was a bit older too than like what usually when your brain blocks out, isn't that more when you're younger, like under 5 maybe? I don't know.
I mean, I think your brain is capable of blocking out a great many things regardless of what age you are, which is why people have dissociative identity disorder. It's
Yeah,
their
but it's
brain's way of
usually
coping.
right. But when it is DID, okay, so that makes sense though that people at all ages could block it out. But when it
Right.
is DID, it's from at a very young age.
Well, right. It's at a young age, and it's a significant amount
Serious
of
trauma.
trauma.
Yeah.
But which is
Shatter
probably
your
not a great.
consciousness.
Exactly. But my point is just what your brain is capable of doing for something like that, right? So it's capable of doing it to lesser extents, is what my point is, what I was trying
Yeah,
to say.
that makes sense. And I like the way you describe that, Melissa. Shatters your consciousness.
It does, though. That's exactly what it does. It shatters your consciousness and splits the personality.
Do you guys know like what age that usually, like, isn't it
Usually at a young age? I don't know a specific number, but I wouldn't say 8 is too old for that in my unprofessional opinion, but I don't feel like 8 is too old for that.
I wish Dr. B was here because I know it's during a certain like developmental stage. And I had always thought it was like under 5-ish, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You might be right.
They say that the most important years in shaping who a child is going to be, and then this gets us all into the nature versus nurture, but are the first 2 years of their life. That's when they learn about empathy, because if they've been loved, if they've had affection, if they've that's how, and obviously throughout their lives, but the first 2 years are critical.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Okay, I'm just going to let it play. It might be Megan and then Tisha, but it's only 1 minute and 20 seconds. And then we'll chat for just a second and let Melissa go start your live because the redirect's on. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Also, I want to have an in-depth conversation, maybe like with you guys another day, like kind of wrapping up our thoughts from all of this. And Tess, if you wanted to come up,
I think it's such an interesting, overall discussion. Like, this is so fascinating.
Yeah, I would love to do that. And Tess had sent me all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I could also go through more of that if you wanted to come up, Tess, which you could come up at any time tonight. I had given her the link when she sent me that stuff, but she said, maybe I'll come up after. But since we're going to yours, maybe we'll do a part 2 kind of discussion or something.
I think that would be great because I really like this topic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay. So Dr. B answered. She said DID is so rare that it is questioned as even being a true disorder or just an extreme expression of some other constellation of symptoms. PTSD and BPD have symptoms of depersonalization dissociation.
Okay.
But I'll tell you this. Okay. When my mom passed away, I was it was in 2015. So that was 10 years ago. So I was 38 years old. Okay. I've told this story a million times. I wanted to hold my mom's hand. I did not realize, I didn't comprehend that my mom had an autopsy. And so when I lifted the sheet, it did not register with me initially that I was looking at and let me just say this, a Y incision that they make for an autopsy. Like, you can see it on HBO. I used to watch that show all the time, Autopsy with Dr. Bodden. But until you see it in person, I had no idea how invasive a Y incision is. So, but my brain didn't allow me to see that in the moment. It was not until like after the fact that I realized, oh shit, what I had seen. So I feel like with Lena, probably what's happened is at some point, because she's probably in therapy because of all of this. And that's another thing. We don't know what Lena told investigators. She was interviewed. We don't. Do we know? Has
Yeah.
anybody played
Yes.
that interview?
Yeah, well, no, it hasn't been played, but remember, I had the transcript.
Yeah, we have the safe passage interview, and it was fucking like similar to how we started talking about certain things being fed. Absolutely, because even you could her safe passage interview, you could hear what her parents were talking about around her. But as far as everything you can verify, that kid was spot on. So I think about the other parts that we can't verify and interpret it in an 8-year-old's mind. It freaks me out. Like I'm confronted at what
I
is
forgot
in there.
about that. You're right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. So I would imagine that she's got to be in some sort of therapy, and I would imagine that at some point it's going to click for her.
Yeah.
Which breaks my heart.
She did talk a lot about her what she took part remembered of, like helping Tisha and stuff, carrying Gannon at one point, right, Melissa? Yeah.
Moving, she helped move his legs.
That's
and again,
right.
The parts that we can verify, like it's spot on, like because there are certain things in that interview that we know to be true. Like we saw, like even down to where Tisha got burned. In the safe passage interview, Lena rolls up her sleeves, pulls it up, and shows the spot. We see Tisha doing that in her interviews, that exact move where she pulls up and points to it. So my point is the things that we can verify, it's 100% fucking accurate. So the parts that we can't, I'm like, oh my dear Lord. But the parts that we can't are very horrific. They're horrific, and you don't want them to be true.
Yeah.
Right. I also think that there was an element of Lena's interview that was she's clearly scared of Letecia. Rightly so. I would be too.
She was angry at that point, but again, she was angry because she heard her parents and what her parents were, and that's nothing at her parents, but it wasn't their fault. But she was repeating the anger that her parents were saying around her. And that was coming off in that tape. But again, too young to register. She doesn't understand exactly what she's angry at. Just she knows and she repeats what she's heard.
Yeah, and repeating like what she had heard on the news and stuff. Or like,
wow.
Okay, last minute. Let's go.
Why can't you call someone?
And you said we were both going to go to jail if you didn't care of it.
For her just rolling over, or you rolling over on him? Or on her?
I don't think I rolled over on her. I don't know if you did an accident or what. I slept in there like her whole life before that. With her up against me right next to me, I never rolled over on her.
Say generalizations when I ask you, how was it?
Why? I don't even know what you're asking me.
The injury that caused that pool in the corner. It's not a little scratch on his head.
Okay, why don't you test it and see what day it came from?
There it is.
If that's
Shut up, Tisha. Why don't you can't do that.
So it didn't happen on Monday.
No, I'm
it happened
asking
on
you.
Saturday.
I'm asking you. You are the one who are telling me, no matter what I say, you're telling me it's your way or no way. So why don't you tell me?
Well, I'm saying it's a significant enough injury that he was not going to be normal after that.
What?
Yep.
Oh, God.
That's what they told me.
What?
Okay, well, that is awful. That people aren't normal after anything like that.
It's a significant
Because I had
injury.
puddles of blood. I remember that I had puddles of blood.
Listen to where she says that is awful real quick, where you, because and then it's over right after that, and then we'll talk about it and let Melissa start her lab. But it's like she catches herself in that moment. Even when you heard it, Jen, you said that is awful. Like you were shocked she said it. She is too, because she kind of changes it up right after. Listen.
I'm saying it's a significant enough injury that he was not going to be normal after that.
What?
Yep.
Oh, God.
That's what they told me.
Okay, well, that is awful. That people aren't normal after anything like that.
It's a significant
Because I had puddles of blood. I remember that I had puddles of blood.
We're not talking about you. We're talking about 11-year-olds.
I said I did.
That's it.
That's it.
Because I had puddles of blood. Look at me. I'm fine.
So, they were at that point, they had not found Gannon's body. No. That what Agent Grusing, he's dumbed it down enough, not dumbed it down. That's not the right word, but he has it's not even simplified it. He's like dressed it up in a way. I don't know another way to say it because it's not dumbing it down, but he's made it's not as gruesome as the truth. The truth is when they looked at that puddle, when they looked at that spot, what he's saying is accurate because they were ready they had arrested and charged Letecia and they hadn't even found Gannon's body yet. That means that blood stain was so significant that no normal human being could walk away with that amount of blood loss and no medical intervention. That's what he's trying to tell her. And she's like, I've dripped puddles of blood. Shut up, Letecia. You have not dripped puddles of blood. Stop it.
Yep. You are so right, though. That's exactly what it was. They knew after that, a child cannot survive. Dr. B says most traumatic memories are sensory, loud noises, startle responses, intrusive memories, and that makes the brain hyper-aroused, which is chronic cortisol overload, hence constellation of symptoms. I said Dr. B, our resident doctor, so I know Jen's planning on, you're going to have her on soon to kind of talk about some of this, right?
I have to ask her if she wants to come. When I have to do it at her schedule, so I don't know if it'll be soon, but I need to talk to Dr.
sometime.
B. At some point, yes, because I definitely want to talk to Dr. B about Megan and some other stuff.
I really want to see you guys go over like some of her interrogations and stuff. Shoot out. You guys you have these videos too. You could pull up any little part from it or
see, this is what I said about Dr. Dorothy. True Psych Word says, I think Dr. Dorothy's early work was fascinating, forward thinking. She contributed a lot to the field, but then she took a hard turn when she immersed herself into DID work. She did. She
popped a wheelie.
Yeah, she did. She did contribute a lot into childhood development and how what about early intervention. I mean, she did have a lot of forward thinking.
Yeah.
Ideas.
And then let's not forget Harley. So she didn't cover up injuries because after all of his injuries is when she hid him and he passed away, right? But let's not forget. And Melissa, I know you've played this. I've never played it. I just didn't. There's so much stuff we had to go over it. That's just the only reason I would have. But Melissa has this on her channel where she is literally in the house with the police reporting him missing with him in the room and
in the storage room. It's the most haunting because I'm a big person on energy and we had just gone over that like 2 weeks ago. And first of all, again, these crimes have a lot of victims, victims of different scenarios. One of the victims in that case, I could imagine being that there were multiple responding officers, but we follow the body cam specifically of one. And this officer got so close because Gannon was stored in the storage room at that point, and all it would have taken was him, and that's not on him, not to put that blame, because they did a phenomenal job at searching that house for a child who is missing and could potentially be hiding, 11-year-old. They were not looking for a body because I see a lot of people put a lot of, why wouldn't they go? They weren't looking for a body. They were looking for an 11-year-old boy who may be hiding in the house, and they did a phenomenal job as far as that. But you watch him come inches within Gannon's body and then also literally get down on his hands and knees in Gannon's room right where we know what happened just hours beforehand. And I'm very curious to know, did you feel anything? And I know that sounds weird and that's not science versus just did you feel, because something so horrific so shortly before, I'm curious, was there energy lingering there? Did you feel that something was off? And I'm very curious to know, but I can imagine how that impacted that officer to find out how close he was, to find out that guilt of feeling like, God, why didn't I just move those boxes? And we even hear Letecia in the later pretext call explain this fake guy and Gannon were hiding under the boxes in the storage room. Little leak again. No, his body was underneath those boxes, but not a man with Gannon.
Right.
I don't think it's crazy at all. Like, I think you could definitely, I don't know. I'm into the energy thing too. I think it's just we all have energy, right? If you tell me you can feel it, we've even been able to feel it online, Melissa, with each other, like during different experiences. So yeah, I think I would love to know that too. It's crazy. So you just went over it 2 weeks ago?
Maybe it was 3 weeks ago, because we're starting back from the beginning, because there's a lot of people who didn't follow this case, which, you know, I tell you guys, anyone from my channel, I'll tell you guys all the time, Allie and Bendy, they're the ones who got the pretext calls and the case records and everything. And so I'm like, what? You don't know about Tisha? Because everyone knows about Tisha. No, there's a decent amount that don't know. I'm like, we got to go back to the beginning now. Got to go all the way back. So we did the Spencer Wilson interview with that body cam footage. And every time I watch it, I'm telling you, like, my stomach, man, it's so eerie. And you have so much with this case, like an abundant, overwhelming amount of information. And it's so, to have so much information yet to not have the answers, it's like you're constantly sifting through it to try to find more and more.
Yeah, it's so true. And I love that we have all that information, though. Is there that much on the Casey Anthony case?
Oh, yes.
There's a lot, yeah.
Oh, look, I totally believe in energy. I mean, our bodies synchronize across the globe just by online interaction. We're on some quantum scale type ish. It's so true. I've synced up with my friends too. And yeah, I've been able to feel that something was wrong without words being said at all, just in the air several times.
I think you have to be open to it. So I think, I mean, okay, I think that if that officer, I think intuitively and instinctually we can sense when things are off, but some people pay attention to it and some people don't. So if that officer didn't pay attention to, but I mean, cops go off of their gut feeling when they pull somebody over, right? They're pulling them over for one thing. And we've all watched Cops, so we know how it goes. You know, usually one thing leads to another, and then before you know it, you know, they're chasing them down the street. You know what I'm saying? Because something felt off.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that officer probably did feel something was off. And to answer Harley Quinn, she wasn't able to cover it all up. And what what happened to Gannon took place over 2 days. It started on Sunday evening and ended Monday. She had several hours where Lena and Harley were not at the house that she had time to clean up. She just didn't do a very good job.
Oh, thank you so much, Pulse for Patriots. I've enjoyed it so much. I always enjoy chatting with you, both of you guys. And yeah, thank you so much for coming. I mean, honestly, like out of all my friends, both of your brains are brilliant. And I love like any conversation with you because you're just very smart and have a way with words. And it's always interesting. So,
oh, well, thank you. Well, you're smart too, Allie. We do have good conversations, though. I was telling Allie, Melissa, the first time that you were on I mean, I've been on your panel a million times, but you've only been on my panel once, and that roast of Gypsy Rose and her trying to cook that dadgum spaghetti with that big ass cookbook out, knowing that she opened up a jar of Prego. Girl,
Yep. It was the funniest ever.
That was so much fun.
Gypsy over here posting pictures of the baby that she promised she would never show, right?
From the back.
Yeah, from the back. It doesn't count.
It doesn't count. That doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean anything.
It's from the back, you meanies. It doesn't count. Fuck off, Gypsy. Look at my body. It's my bounce back game is on fleek. Girl, bye. You've photoshopped. You've airbrushed half your neck out. Stop it.
FOS. So Jen Lou is Bendy, and you're right. Jen is the one who did Gypsy stuff with Melissa. So yes, and then I don't want to keep us any longer.
Yeah, we're late.
We can come back and do like the discussion, have test sometime, anytime. But I want to go over and see what photos you're going to drop tonight, Melissa. And I'm sure you'll piss some people off with them, but that's okay.
Yay!
That's okay. We love to piss people off.
Yeah. Sorry for keeping you late, but the stream, when it ends, it will bring us.
I swear, if you apologize one more time.
I know, but dude, it's 9:15. I
Who
just don't.
When
cares?
is your live supposed to start, Melissa?
It doesn't matter. Now it was supposed to start when yours ended. That's it.
Oh,
That's
I
it.
know, but I don't want you on too late and stuff, and I don't want you know.
It's just Saturday, but still, you don't need to be. Aren't you getting back after being sick?
Yeah, but
Okay.
everything's fine.
Okay.
Yay! I'm like, I'd love to do this part too, and I'd like to dive more into Casey, maybe more Diane Downs. You know, like because I just think it's very interesting, and every single one of I don't know, it's like the incomprehensible a mom. I don't know, not saying that anyone else doing it, but it's really like a mom. I don't know.
I think we need
they're
to
all
do
so different.
Yes, I think we need to do because I think Letecia, Leilani, and Megan are similar, okay, in their crime. But I think if we're gonna do, I think we should do Diane Downs, Susan Smith, and then there's a third one that will come to me later.
Well, I wanted to look into Casey's case, so I think it would be cool if we all if you
I would love that.
Casey should be her own separate episode, babe, because she's so.
No, that's what I mean.
Well, she should have like a whole series,
That's
or
what
you
I'm
could have
Yes.
just 2 episodes and go down that
Yes.
rabbit hole because she is fascinating too.
That's
Yes.
exactly what I mean. Like a whole series, just into the whole case, the evidence,
Yes, Jessica.
the interviews,
Yes.
everything.
Oh, so much, so much. You need to find the jail call where it's George, Cindy, and Casey. You've got to
It's
watch
on
that.
YouTube. It's right on YouTube.
It is
It's
on
all
YouTube.
available, yeah.
It's all of it. Mhm.
Yay. Okay. Well, let's plan that and figure out a way to like be able to do it on all of our channels and or whatever. Like just find a way to do it. And then I'll let you guys go. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank
It's
you,
really
Allie.
interesting. Maybe I can fix those videos before I upload them, but it's easier with you guys watching them on your own on the phone.
There's nothing to fix because it's not even really about. Like you did a really good job. It took a lot of effort to get all of that together, believe it or not, because you don't know where every little moment is. You know, you have to go and find it. You did a really good job.
Yeah,
Thank
you did.
you.
You did
Yeah,
a
'cause
fantastic job.
There were certain things that I wanted and I had to find, like the pregnancy things, the Google searches, you know what I mean? The courtroom behavior, because I kept thinking of stuff and I'm like, oh my God, she did this and she did this. Like, so, well, thank you guys. I really enjoyed it so much. And all right, I'm going to let you guys go. Oh, thank you, Dr. B. And thank you all. Thank you, MK. I hope you guys have a great night. I'm going to see you guys later over at Melissa's and
Yes, I'll be over there shortly.
All right, good night.
Bye.
Bye.
If Melissa doesn't go start her live, though, we're all hosed because that's how we get the redirect. Oh, she left. Okay, good. My bad.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Thank you. Stop apologizing. Well, I feel bad because it was the last minute I saw that it was vertical. Because on my phone I couldn't tell. It all edited in CapCut and looked the same. Like in CapCut, everything looks vertical. So when the first one uploaded normal, I was like, okay. And then no.
CapCut has done me dirty before.
It did me dirty, apparently. But now, did you get locked out when TikTok stopped?
Yes, I did. That's part of the reason, although it's a very small part of the reason why the documentary took so long. Remember, because I had to go get a VPN.
Yes. Okay, let me see. I forgot about that. Okay, you guys, go check out the documentary. I think it will still take us to her live. It will just go into the waiting.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. All right, Jen. I'll talk to you in a second.
All right,
you guys, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you, Pete.
Thanks for having me
so much. Thank you, Jen. Thank you for coming. You guys go check out Jen's channel. Go check out Melissa's channel. You won't be disappointed, I promise. Thank you, Samantha. Thank you, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.